everybody! Happy, I guess not Pride Month, because it appears that the woke really is being put away.
We're moving over to Wrath.
Yes. In some ways, figuratively, in some ways quite literally, and in some ways a bit tragically, I will say. But yeah, woke is John Redcorn is John Deadcorn, and
is that a reference I should understand?
The immediate reporting. Have you ever seen King of the Hill?
I have, yes.
The actor who played John Redcorn was killed.
Oh, the second one. Yeah, I know what you're referencing.
The first one was also killed, but unrelated.
Right, unrelated. It's apparently a dangerous role. One of those ones like the drummer from Spinal Tap. Was it Spinal Tap where all the drummers exploded? I couldn't remember if that was the Ruddles or Spinal Tap.
It's based on drum from Def Leppard losing an arm.
Right. In other news, right away. So the news was reporting on that about it was a homophobic hate crime and stuff.
Of course it was.
We're gonna get into that. As for the chat, hello everybody. I have no idea what this leaderboard crap is. The second I turned on the stream, it gave these little crowns. Now I like the crowns, being that the channel is Broken Crown. I like the crowns, but I have no idea what it indicates or how to turn it off. So until I have any idea what, or if we've been put into I don't know, some kind of different program. I think it still won't let me set a goal unless I turn on my VPN, which I guess I could do. But I'm just confused. I have no idea what or why. Anywho, yeah, let's see, there's that. I got the woke being put away for Pride Month. We have the Democrats trying to win back young men, and not just the Democrats. The conservatives want to do it too, and they both
No, they don't. The conservatives trying to alienate them. If that.
Oh right, I guess.
Yes. Go by. Yeah, we were discussing before we started on how to make vanilla extract.
Yes. So you are making. We have to have food talk. It's been so long. So
it actually has been a while.
Well,
I'm also
cooking today and tomorrow, so
you actually only need 2 ingredients.
Vanilla, you need the vanilla and extract.
No, you need vodka.
Yeah, it is literally just a tincture.
Yeah, because you need to basically douse the entire beanstalk in vodka. So you need like a thin, long bottle, like a bourbon bottle will probably do, and fill it up with vodka. So it's entirely submerged, so no bacteria can grow in it. And then just leave it, as you would anything else, for at least 2 months, from what I've been told, to get it a proper, at least, baking level consistency for vanilla extract. Now, the reason that I want to do it myself is because a 50 milliliter bottle of vanilla extract over here is like $9, which is fucking insane. I'm not paying that. And I realize you can get like a bulk of pods, like 20 grams of them. Now, bear in mind, they're like a gram or 2 each. So 10 of them is a shitload. And absolute hell.
That's because of the cost of alcohol or something, you said?
No, it's cost of vanilla.
That's
the vanilla.
Yeah, that's just a bean.
Okay, it's the vanilla that's expensive.
Yeah, and I think for like 2.5 cups, which is what it's 3 cups, I think, because 750 is 3 cups, and I think you need roughly about 3 or 4 stalks per like 2.5 cups. So I feel like if you can 300 rand, which is about a bit more than $15, and the vodka.
Oh shit!
The vodka is like 9.
Well, the issue is that the pod's like 50 quid for a box.
Yeah, but it's not here. The pod's here is like $15.
But it's
which is insanely cheap.
We may need to have to. We may have a business idea.
So between the vodka, which is only like $9,
vanilla extract,
and the vanilla
smuggling.
Yeah, the vanilla, which is like 15, so for like $23, I can basically get 750 milliliters of vanilla extract, which is like 12 times the amount that I would get if I bought it from the shop, which is like 6 times the amount of cost. I'm like, fucking hell, I'm not going to bake anything for a while, so fucking hell, I just leave it. You can just leave it in perpetuity because the vodka doesn't go off, and you can just leave it there and just use it, because you only use like a teaspoon. And for 750 milliliters, there's 5 milliliters in a teaspoon. So 750, do some fucking maths. So at least 50
Well,
bakings.
Spoon, it sounds like you've got a large supply of vanilla extract.
So if you baked
There's
once
actually
a
lot of
week, you
food
could bake
talk
for a
tonight in
year.
general.
The only
for
place where
sure.
vanilla is actually cheap is fucking cracked out because that
It
shit's
probably
so
tastes way
expensive.
better than the shit you get from the store too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's no bullshit in it.
And it gets better because
Speaking of
it gets more
food.
potent in concentration.
Speaking of food, I did start with the food-related story, so it's all working in concert together. It's all working out quite
Someone
well.
asked me how much is that in South African rand. I think it's 170 rand for the vanilla extract, which is
Oh, okay.
insane. Because I remember I paid
Well, you
seven.
pay a bit more up front, but you get way more.
Yeah, I paid €7, about €7.50 in Ireland for 120 milliliters. So to pay 8 for 50 milliliters is fucking daylight robbery. I looked at it
You
like,
have to
there's
start
no
making more
fucking well I'm paying
vanilla
that shit.
desserts and stuff. We should make ice cream.
Yeah.
Ice cream's fun.
Making ice cream is always a pain in the balls. It's never worth the effort. Like even regional,
Really?
like, we got
You
regional
need to get a
posh
machine.
like makers of it, and even then it's like okay, you can get the local ice cream, but it's like 50 quid for a tub.
Yeah. And also, I'm gonna start eating ostrich meat because very lean ostrich meat for some bizarre reason.
Oh,
is equal
ostrich is
to
gorgeous.
beef.
I've tried it. It tastes amazing. If you can get ostrich and kangaroo and bison reliably, you don't need other meats. Kangaroo
Okay.
is so nice.
Okay, yes, because
Buffalo's my
it's
favourite.
But
it's
can
cheaper
you
than the
make-
price I paid for beef.
But can you make an ostrich sausage roll? Ostrich sausage.
Sausage
Yes,
roll.
yes, you can. You do get
Sausage.
ostrich. You get ostrich boerewors.
Oh, there you go.
I've
It's
had
actually
ostrich
right
burgers and
next
they
to
are
it.
Fantastic.
I
Yes.
ask because Keir Starmer has been humiliated by Greg's sausage
By
roll
many, many
after Madame
things.
Tussauds verdict.
By an actual
many
British
things.
institution.
But yes, Keir Starmer has been, according to the Express, humiliated by Greg's sausage roll. If you pull this article up, I'm
Keir
sharing on my
Starmer
screen.
humiliated by Greg's sausage roll after Madame Tussauds verdict. A likeliness of Keir Starmer won't feature at a world-famous attraction where the latest edition will be a Greg sausage roll.
You can't make this shit up.
Oh, it's a beautiful sight, isn't it?
Madame Tussauds says it won't be making a waxwork of Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer, I'm not calling him so he can fuck off. Keir
Sure,
Starmer
fuck
has
you.
been snubbed by Madame Tussauds, which has said it won't be making a waxwork of Britain's latest Prime Minister. The world-famous Waxwork Museum said that because it can wake up to a year to create a wax figurine, each one has to remain popular and relevant.
Oh my god.
But more or less just telling him like we've already
For
been through
5
the
to
year of
10
3 prime
years.
ministers. Like
Yeah. Holy
You'd be
shit,
lucky
oh my
to
God, did my
fucking be
screen
relevant for
already
10
freeze? It
minutes.
did.
he'll be lucky
Dude, I
if
knew
he's
this
in
was gonna
office. Honestly,
never fucking happen.
let's be real. He'll be lucky if one of his leftoid cronies doesn't pick him off in that time. If I'm
I
perfectly
know.
honest.
He'll be lucky to
What-
make it to
what
the
a
end of the
statement.
year.
Whereas the Greg sausage roll is eternal.
Yes.
Timeless.
Yes, the timeless sausage roll.
Puff
I do have a
pastry
video
and
of the
pork.
sausage
All that English kind needs to survive.
Dude, but look at Bojo's. It has a mask on it. I wonder, can they take the
That's
mask
just
off?
they added the mask later. That's just the cover up. They did a
Oh, okay.
fucking hatchet job on the actual face.
Oh, did they?
Is that the
from what I
reason why they
recall,
put the mask
Bojo
on?
was
It's like, oh,
notorious
fuck
in-
it.
It's like how their Trump one is very blatantly a refit of a Hillary Clinton one because they didn't get the memo.
Give me a second.
I get the
knew this was
impression to
gonna
do
happen.
Bojo's hair, you just need to find a sort of just wig off a black woman, just like shove an electric current to it, and then just leave it. It'll just come down by itself, and that's basically Bojo's hair.
Yeah. Let's see.
Boris Johnson is the human embodiment of an anime character's hair on a person who would actually watch it.
This is a pretty accurate description, actually, now that I'm picturing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the. I have a video of the sausage roll.
It's lovingly crafted.
I love it.
You can't-
I just love their excuse or their rationale, which is that the sausage roll is perpetual. Keir Starmer is temporary.
Like, sir, we need to be relevant for 10 years, and we don't see you making it 10 fucking months.
Check out this sausage roll.
we need you to be in. For a prime minister to
Look at
get one,
the
they need to be in
Baz
office
building
long
it.
enough.
They got Baz to even create the sausage. Look, he's taking measurements and stuff. This is by far the greater work of art. Another national treasure put in its rightful place.
Is that basically made of wax?
Yeah, it's Madame Tussauds. So
What else are they
going
gonna
to
make it out of?
sausage roll. A
Yeah, a puff
sausage
pastry. Some
roll.
cunt will eat it.
Not around a glass, but okay, well maybe they'll smash it. I'm just sorry, like this, the concept of wax sausage roll is just making me go, you know.
Dude, that's the best story. I couldn't believe it. I thought, like, I just saw it while I was scrolling today. I was like, there's no way that's real. Yeah, it's real. Well, on the subject of UK politics, I thought we'd get that out of the way first then, since I had such a great lead-in with it. So, there's been a ton of articles in this last week about Ed Miliband. And
Oh god, Ed Miliband, the man whose entire career was ended by eating a sandwich.
Yeah.
The guy who looks like a slightly whiter Rishi Sunak.
Okay.
Oh god, he fucking does.
He does.
I've told you, Rishi
He
Sunak is the lost Miliband brother. I've been saying this for years.
Dipped in curry.
It's about as strongest. Yeah, exactly. I said that precise thing. Well, I think my first call was it looked dipped in Turkish coffee, but like it's 1-to-1. It's
Annie, can you zoom
uncanny.
in a bit?
Huh? Make it bigger.
Can you zoom in a bit?
Well, yeah, because yeah.
There we go. Thank you very much.
Should we bring weapons through?
So, you know, we were asking, okay, so if woke's being put away, what is the replacement for woke? And I think we've all figured
It
out
looks
that
like
it's
they like that
obviously war,
me.
Israel-Palestine stuff. But everyone's been making fun of him. He's out, you know.
People have been making fun of Ed Miliband
for a while.
just years.
Right.
He's one of the most just trashable politicians
However,
Britain's produced probably ever.
Yes, however, there has
He's
been
like their version of
spate.
Buttigieg.
There has been a spate of negative articles
God,
just in the last like week or so, and it's because of things like this. And we're going to see that I floated before woke really started to go away that I thought maybe the next thing would be, and as COVID was being put away, that maybe it would be climate change. And it does not appear to be climate change, as we will see. What?
No, someone chat said,
was
you
this?
want net zero, do you want net zero, sir?
Yeah.
It's like Indian Miliband.
Yes. Well,
Oh god, that's good
holy
shit.
shit! I could probably do that real easily. I've had to do all this stuff with the.
Indian Miliband. It'd be really easy to do because Rishi Sunak's right fucking there.
I set out to read every retracted COVID paper, and I instead fell down this Didier rabbit hole. So I've had to translate so much shit from French to English, including videos. I guarantee you could just run this through like an Indian filter. Any video I've been using, 11 Labs to do that. It's pretty cool.
I think you, if I may say so, in that question, are being far too defeatist about Britain. We passed the Climate Change Act, 2008, started by my brother, completed by me. We're the first to do it.
Very cute.
Countries
He
around
talks like
the
he's
world
AI generated.
emulated
He does.
that.
Yeah, I was about to say he does. Look,
Man, he looks cold
saying
out of his
nothing about
tits with the bags under his eyes.
does.
Jesus.
He does look like
It'd
he's
be
on
so
character. Yeah.
defeatist.
forget to
Like, it's
sleep.
he elongates every
Jesus.
last
He
syllable.
Yeah, he does sound like an AI. It's weird because maybe it's because I primed myself by talking about AI directly preceding it. But now, yeah, it sounds like AI to me. Very strange.
We've got this mission, clean power by 2030. If we achieve that, and I'm absolutely
Just look at
determined
the other.
He talks like one of the in-betweeners.
Space. Yeah, no one has any fucking patience for this climate change shit. Everyone knows it's nonsense. And how far down on the list of priorities is it in any first world country, to be fair? But, particularly in England, when there's obviously more pressing concerns. They've been shouting about this shit for the last 30 years about how your houses would be underwater while they buy up They buy up properties and land on the beaches to build their own mansions on. So no one's buying it. I did think they were going to try to revitalize the climate stuff, and it seems there was an attempt, but it has been an abject failure.
Yeah, Kevin pointed out even Greta's
Other
more concerned
countries,
about
they look-
Palestine now. Like, yeah.
Exactly.
It's all
Yes, as we'll
current
get
day
to.
shit. Every
It
one of
is.
this like
What
main
is the
political
thing?
crap is that
Yep,
oh look, it's
yep.
Palestine. I don't know why people have such a massive irritation about Palestine. I think it's
Remember when
because
people cared about Ukraine for a hot minute? Spoon?
well, yeah, and then Palestine happened, and then people, the majority of people
and
who
then they
scream
were
about
done playing with
Palestine
that toy.
don't even know where the fuck Palestine is on a damn map. When you see people who say
didn't
things
know
like
where
queers for
Ukraine was
Palestine,
either.
it's just retarded. Like I'm just
In
sick
an
of,
ideal
like, the
world, you wouldn't be able to
current
find
day
either of them on a map. Save like
Especially-
historical documentation.
Dude.
Well, historically speaking, like even V pointed this out. Only time those places have ever been under any kind of order is when they were under an empire's thumb.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Yeah.
It's the only place they ruled like under the Ottomans, the Romans, or the British.
Oh, I should have said that cosplay thing of the Crusader King of Jerusalem, the one with leprosy.
What we're trying to
show
say
you
is that
Bill.
all of these people need to be put under the
Good old
thumb
King
of some
Benedict.
kind of czar.
Yes. Usually.
To be
what
honest, I think
Okay,
most women.
well, how about
need to be
this?
under-
How about
Okay, go on.
how about Russia relents on taking the Donbass area, but gets Jerusalem for the Orthodoxy?
Russian Orthodox playing with Jews. When I say playing, I mean rough and
go.
tumble
Okay.
from a roof.
Yeah, just a bit of rough and tumble. There you go.
Or just declare melee only.
There you go.
You
Yeah.
can continue
yeah,
the
that
war,
works.
but only melee only. No,
Smash
no
Brothers
drone
melee
bullshit. Can we just make
No.
put a moratorium on horseshit drones? You can't start with a kill streak. Fuck off.
All right. Go back to playing this, which everyone has been laughing at, by the way.
Look what Britain's been able to do. We can do that too. So let's not have a diminished view of Britain. We really matter in this. So many countries come to me and say, "You've got a really important responsibility here." I think
No, they
you,
fucking
if I
don't.
may say so.
What fucking no?
No one goes to
I-
the head of
I
Miliband for
cannot-
fuck all. He's getting
I
voted out of his
cannot-
own
No one goes-
constituency.
yeah, exactly.
I cannot
Yes,
take him
yes,
seriously the
he's
fact that he
talked
talks
about
like a
that.
cartoon character. Does it play that first bit
Yeah.
of it? That first
He
bit
talks to
again?
the guy for the in-betweeners. It's really
Yeah,
fucking uncanny.
Like a cartoon character or AI, yeah, somewhere in between.
I think you, if I may say so,
You- why
in
Who
that
the hell
question,
talks like that?
are being
It's like-
far too defeatist
know.
about Britain.
I think
We
you.
passed the climate
Like
change.
what the?
Yeah, yeah,
it's,
this is very...
Fucking Wallace and Gromit ass speech
Oh,
pattern.
bro, for real.
oh, what a
It
wally.
is a Wallace and Gromit speech pattern. But yeah, it's not the so AA of course has been tracking this, and then just like yeah, all this last week in particular, last couple weeks, it's just been nothing but just like shitty.
He looks like he's
all
having his
over
asshole
the headlines.
violated in that fucking picture. Go back to that. Look at him.
No, that's the face
Like-
of a man who's trying to have a conversation despite the fact he has stubbed the shit out of his toe.
That's what it looks like to me, Bill. More like he stubbed his toe and is trying not to scream.
Like, he's just like he's trying
he's
to
trying to
he's
hold
just trying to
the
rizz up some
fine.
woman at the club, and he just smashed his foot directly into like the foot of the bar stool.
When was this Express article? One man's doing more damage. to
One
the
man
UK than
is
Putin,
doing more
Trump, and
damage
and
to the
Rachel Reeves
UK
combined.
Then Putin, Trump, and Rachel Reeves combined. Who's that? Tony
I'm not
Blair?
100% positive Rachel Reeves. Well,
Oh,
no.
well, you can't-
Blair didn't.
okay, here's the thing.
Blair doesn't
Tony-
want Miliband in.
Tony Blair hasn't really achieved fuck all of his own accord. We can trace the
Well-
purse strings all the way back to fucking Darth Mandelson,
True.
Oh, Peter
the
Mandelson.
actual fucking Peter Mandelson, the literal fucking villain of all the British history.
So,
I do
it
have vague
seems that,
memories of him.
It seems that the climate change thing is out, and yes, Greta
UK
being
climate
the...
chief. Okay, that just sounds like the
poster child.
gayest job title. What the
God, I don't
fuck
understand Greta
is...
looking. Greta looks like she's 40. How?
She looks like a guy there.
Oof.
That is like dysgenic white trash. Fucking just.
She's
She's
got-
a square head.
Yeah, she's
Looks like
Sandy
it's
with
missing
fetal alcohol.
teeth.
She's got fucking fetal alcohol syndrome, okay?
No,
it's
that
just
fucking
people with alcohol
jawline.
syndrome, her eyes be further apart.
That's a Scandi thing. That's why they used to be called squarehead.
Right.
But
That's why I called her a square head.
jeez,
She's got a very tiny
Fucking
face for
hell.
a very large head.
It's just
She's
also
built like
she's-
Robert
she's
Zadar.
rapidly aging. Yeah.
It's
Oh
like-
God, yes.
it's like reverse Charlie Kirk.
Pointing out Charlie Kirk. Well, like Charlie Kirk's got a really small face.
That's what I'm saying. It's
yeah.
reverse. He's got like quite bulgy
Tuned out
features for a
Charlie
smaller
Kirk.
head. Yeah, yeah.
Charlene
oh, God.
Kirk.
Charlie's Kirk. Climate change campaigner Greta Thunberg and 11 other activists have set sail for Gaza on a ship aimed at breaking Israel's siege of the devastated territory, organizers have said. The
My
sailing
God,
boat
what a
Madeleine-
retard fight that
Madeleine-
is! Greta Thunberg and Netanyahu.
Let them cook.
I was about to say the same thing. Just like, I have no stake in this fight. I hope both do damage to each other. Sorry, Aiden, you were saying?
Right. What's the
Betting odds?
bit? I believe everyone involved in this story should die.
Oh yeah, the
Strange
Norm
Hilda
McDonald's
Dot.
bit. Yeah.
Hang on, Norm Macdonald. Hang on. I'll try to read this. If it doesn't catch up, I might have to restart Brave because, like I said, I had a bunch of tabs open and they're fucking with me now. Okay, the sailing boat Madeleine, operated by activist group Freedom Flotilla Coalition, departed from the port of Catania in Sicily, southern Italy, on Sunday. Would try to reach the shores of Gaza Strip to bring in some aid and raise international awareness of continuing humanitarian crisis. The activists said at a press conference on Sunday before the vessel departed, "We are doing this because no matter what odds we're against, we have to keep trying," Thunberg said, bursting into treats.
Yes, Greta,
during
because
I've got
prior
a
to
similar
you,
plan.
No one fucking knew.
I'm gonna have to restart Brave. God damn it! Give me a second.
I've heard of a similar plan to sail from Italy towards Jerusalem. It's a bit of a historical example.
Isn't it?
Yeah, what I'll need is about 12 legions of Italians.
Yeah. One side.
Hadrian went mad.
He sailed for Judea, armed with 12 legions, and started killing every...
Well,
No
Really
mercy
resin
was
in his
shown.
hand.
No mercy
Hang on, let me
was
share my
shown.
screen
No
again.
court given. Hadrian would settle with nothing. Destruction.
But the demonetization of the stream.
Well, it's fine. Okay, I got the thing back up.
Fun fact: the reason, or despite not being a Christian himself, Hadrian specifically
Despite
went with
picking
12 legions, the precise number that Christ himself said he could summon in terms of angels, on a whim.
That's pretty based, actually. Yeah, 12 legions of
based.
angels to protect me.
The thing is, went to
Yeah.
like the Christians' gimmicks. What would really piss off the Judeans? This
know
number.
what?
12 legions.
Now that you're bringing, hang on. Now that you're bringing it up, what's the name of the guy with the leprosy, the King of Jerusalem bill? Because I want to
I keep
find
calling him.
that.
I always call him King Benadryl, so I blanked on his
This
name.
game is not King Benadryl. Hang on, it might
He
come
is
up by
now.
just on the cosplay.
It's
What's
Baldwin the Fourth.
Baldwin, okay.
That's why I call him King Benadryl.
And yeah, well, we called James Lindsay that the other week.
But King
Man.
Benadryl?
No, we called him King Benadryl.
We called him Pope Benadryl the First.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what's a good nickname for
Dude,
James Lindsay at this
just
point.
told us
Just
earlier.
insane.
Well, yeah.
Well, seen but not heard would be nice. But yeah, not heard at all. All seen at all.
Or seen either, for that
Well,
matter,
I
yeah.
can't find it.
To be fair,
Dude, I
he
just
is an
saw it
entertaining
earlier. He's so
retard.
dumb.
Apparently that word's okay to say now again.
Yeah, you're allowed to
It's good
say
to have it
retard
back.
again.
Hmm.
Yes, you are allowed to
But
say
never,
retard again.
the
as
thing,
far as
the thing about the word
goes.
retarded, the same like with the S slur, it doesn't describe the people it's supposed to be a slur against. I mean, the most people I know who call retarded are women. It's not like people with mental disabilities. Otherwise, we'd be calling that a... Well, okay, no, I take it
Bill,
back. We do call
Do you remember
politicians
where
all
it
the time.
was? Because you pointed out that where the cosplay thing was being held was funny too. Or
Oh, it was the Maltese
was it
cosplay
Malta?
convention. Yeah, it was Malta specifically.
Let's see if I can find it because this was pretty based.
Why didn't you say?
No,
this?
damn, I can't find it, dude. Oh well, I should. That's why
Check
when I
his,
see
check
shit
your
like that on
check
Twitter.
your history afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, because I just saw it on Twitter. Anyway, it was just a cosplayer of cosplaying King Baldwin. It was pretty based. Okay, because the moment we stop trying is when we lose our humanity, and no matter how dangerous the mission is, it's not even near as dangerous as the silence of the entire world in the face of the live-streamed genocide. This phrase
The
live-streamed
world has not
genocide,
been silent at fucking all.
hearing
I don't know what world do you live
No.
in.
Yeah, but some people
are
have had
setting other
some.
people on fire.
Yeah, there's been several. There's been shootings. There's been Molotovings.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how what
Raising
boils
the
down.
ground.
Yeah,
Oh, by the way, Rat Bartholomew Cheesington for 5 says, when the world needed him most, he returned. All hail Bill, the last slur bender. There you go, Bill.
I merely do my best.
I want to make sure I got that when I refreshed all my tabs and stuff. Let's see. Israel has vehemently rejected allegations of genocide. In mid-May,
Of course they
Israel
have.
slightly eased its blockade. Well, yeah, of course. Blockade of Gaza after nearly 3 months, allowing a limited amount of humanitarian aid into the territory. But experts have warned that Gaza is at risk of famine if more aid is not brought in. So they're on this little fucking dinghy to bring in what? There's no aid. It's a luxury yacht.
I really detest this argument, as I don't like these people, but it's annoying when they say, "Oh, Israel is committing a genocide," and they won't say so. Like, why the fuck would they? It's such a stupid point to make. Like, they're not going to admit to it.
Right. This is all just obviously PR.
Yeah,
Among those
but it's
joining
like
the crew
the
of the
dumbest thing.
Yeah, they're on vacation. They're on vacation. Are the Game of Thrones actor Leon Cunningham, Rima Hassan, a French member of the European Parliament who is of Palestinian
relation.
descent. She has been barred from entering Israel due to her active opposition to Israeli assault on Gaza.
Yeah, I wonder why she wouldn't be
Activists-
invited in.
Yeah, gee, I wonder why. The activists expect to take 7 days to get to their destination if they are not stopped. Oh, that's probably part of it too. They're hoping to get stopped. Thunberg, so that they can cry about it, who became internationally famous climate activist after organizing massive protests in her native Sweden, had been due to board the previous Freedom Flotilla ship last month. That attempt to reach Gaza by sea in early May failed after another of the group's vessels, the Conscience. Oh my god. Oh, I hate this
The
bleeding heart
cringe,
shit.
the gay.
It's so
just,
insufferable.
Just like put your backs into it, do it properly. Just fucking give them the stick they deserve. Like, don't do all this pussyfooting around. It's fucking
Right.
It's incorrigible.
Was allegedly attacked by 2 drones while sailing in international waters off the coast of Malta. Oh, there's Malta again. The group blamed Israel for the attack, which damaged the front section of the ship in the latest confrontation over efforts to send assistance to Palestinian territory devastated by nearly 19 months of war. We are breaking the siege of Gaza by sea.
What breaking
But that's
the conditioning?
Yeah, okay, you're breaking the siege. Oh my god. But that's
You can
part of a
break wind
broader
for a while.
strategy of mobilizations that will also attempt to break the siege by land. Dude, that's what Greta Thunberg said, that she is breaking the siege by sea. By sailing her little
she didn't
yacht.
say that.
Yeah.
Said the
We're breaking
activist
the siege of
Thiago
Gaza by
Avila.
sea. Oh, okay, my bad. Thiago Avila, my bad.
I don't even know who the fuck that
Avila
is, though.
cited the global march to Gaza.
Someone with a
Someone
Hispanic
else.
name thinks that they're like doing something special by
Or is it-
crossing a body of
yeah.
water. No surprises there.
But I'm sure that's obviously the mindset.
An
there.
international initiative also opened to doctors, lawyers, and media, which is due to leave Egypt and reach the Rafah crossing in mid-June. Organizers plan to stage a protest there, demanding that Israel stop the Gaza offensive and reopen the border. Just out of curiosity, what the fucking hell makes people think they can listen to you?
Why would they?
Exactly. So you're just gonna go there and make some fucking noise with men that have arms. Why?
Well, because it's,
By the way,
it's a stunt.
By the way, this is how you know these people are protected, because no sane people would go,
They're not gonna get
these
shot at."
people are actively committing a genocide, and we're going to try to stop them with words.
Well, of course
If
not.
if you don't
Obviously
see
not.
this is clearly a fucking PR stunt, and I can guarantee you the Israelis know they're going to do this and give them a free pass to do so just for publicity
of
reason,
course.
then yeah, exactly. But that's the thing that just pisses me off so much, is that no one
They're
just
going to
pauses and
show
goes
up
like,
and
this doesn't
take
make any fucking
photos
sense.
on their
Yes.
yacht. And it's the same, it's the same things that people keep saying. Hassan, speaking of Hassan Piker, why don't you go to Gaza? Why don't you go to Gaza? All these
Because
other
he's gay.
YouTubers went there, and yeah, he's gay. He's like, oh, they can't guarantee my protection, bro. By the way, I've got a great Hassan clip to celebrate Pride Month, because we can see again.
Is it him in a dress?
The gay woke crap. No,
God, I hope
it's
not.
just, it's very funny. He celebrates
hell, how
Pride
big
Month
was
in
his
his
dress?
own way. I'll put it that way.
Do you think
Obviously,
he's
that stuff's
actually
being
going
put
to
away. No one
he's
cares
going to
about
put it
this.
away?
He does. He goes. I'll just tell you what it is. Spoiler alert, because you really have to see it for yourself, because it's just so fucking
Retarded?
the audacity of, yes, and retarded. He is on a podcast. They're talking about Pride Month, and he's like, "Oh, you know what flag is really cool? Like, they're talking about pride flags and gay flags." And he goes, "Go look up the flag of Hamas, bro. It's fucking awesome." He's so stupid.
I've seen Hamas's
With his
flag. It
petite,
looks
petite,
fucking
tiny head.
gaudy.
Yeah, but he talks. It's that he's telling a bunch of gays, talking about pride flags, be like, "Yeah, go look up the Hamas flag, bro." It's so,
The people that
it's just-
explicitly detest homosexuality.
yes,
And throw them from roofs.
yes, and throw them from roofs. Yes,
And we're started by the idea. We're started as a Mossad fucking op as well.
and we're
So
started-
Yeah,
by
don't
Mossad, yes.
don't tell them that. I've noticed the neither Mossad or Hamas is actually a fan of that fact.
oh no, I wouldn't want to offend either Mossad or
I'll just be
Hamas
sitting
out
here
there.
with my lack of liable laws.
Yeah. But okay, so again, the climate change stuff, no one's going for it. I think
Considering where
obviously
I'm
the
sitting,
shift
I'm not
is
exactly worried about shit talking
Israel-Palestine. Well, true. Yeah, you're probably fine.
Oh, look at Spoon. I live in a bricks nation now. Fucking hell.
Well,
Cat shit.
back on the UK subject matter more broadly.
The irony, because we don't have any.
What the fuck was that? Right. This, of course, made a bunch of headlines. Everyone's sort of talking about this. So, new prediction says that white British people, will be a minority in 40 years, report claims.
Charles Hamas on the side there.
Oh my god, did it freeze again? Oh, dude, I can't use Brave. Give me a second. I have to switch to Chrome. Jesus Christ, I hate Brave. And, like, it's so bad for streaming because of how much fucking RAM it eats. Like, it just locks up. Give me one sec.
And this is why you need to get a machine that has far more RAM than you possess.
Spoon, we've been over this. It does not matter. It calculates up
RPGX is a fucking
exponentially because
crypto miner. So.
because of the built-in ad blockers. It calculates up like exponentially. So it doesn't matter if you had limitless RAM at some point. It would at least
it is
would hit the
literally
wall.
It is quite literally the sites you're visiting trying to fucking DDoS you.
Yes.
Because they know that Brave has those countermeasures. They know the type of them. So they
Say, look, other people in
them.
chat are saying, my Brave has treated me so well. Why is it Aiden so problematic? This is a good question. I too
Are
have
you
Brave
on
and I have
Windows
no
10 or
problems.
Windows 11?
11.
It's a problem if you're doing things like streaming.
Okay, well, I'm using it right now.
Are you streaming it?
Yes.
No. You're streaming your screen with Brave?
No.
So, no, you're not.
I'm using OBS and all my things are on Brave.
I love having these conversations.
Okay. We have literally had this exact same conversation like 30 times that Brave really sucks for streaming.
And it doesn't make any sense to me because only you have those problems.
It's literally not me. I've seen articles about this.
Get on with it, you bunch of absolute burks.
I would like to get on with it. White British people will be a minority in 40 years, report claims. Now, the responses to this have been twofold, which is people, being reasonably upset by this, and people going, it's not happening still, but it's a good thing that it's not happening. It should happen faster, as it always is. Of course, what great replacement? The thing that's happening that's good.
I don't think this is going to happen. I think there's
an
an
economic
economic
breakdown
collapse.
entirely before that happens.
Yeah, actually, I agree with that. There's no way in hell the current economic projection for the next 50 years is going to fucking hold.
British economy is already corroding
teetering on
its
the
own
brink.
weight.
Yeah. Is it me or Spoon's accent getting stronger? Which one? I didn't even mean that to be funny, but that's a good question, actually, now that I'm thinking out loud.
We may never know. It's a mystery.
We may never know. Okay. White
Is it the
British
English
people
one or
will
the
become a
South
minority
African one?
in the UK population within the next 40 years, report is predicted. An analysis of migration, but here's the thing, this is an analysis of migration. I do think
Assuming
that shit's
some
gonna
levels
go
of
on
steady, yeah.
There will be some, I don't trust Starmer, obviously. The man lost to a fucking sausage roll. But there is going to be a bit of a move back, I think, on the immigration stuff.
Also, past a certain point, the
It's just
migrants will
not
start killing each other faster than they can replenish.
I mean, it is a simple fucking solution. Just stop giving them gibs. So it's obvious that
Well, there won't be
this
any
has been
gibs to
planned
give
the
soon.
entire time.
Yeah, that's the point. They'll just
yeah.
collapse.
Yeah.
Also, the nations they're from will completely collapse because there will be no more money to send to them.
And this is an extreme prediction. The current position is 73% of the population to 57% by 2050. In the next 25 years, to a minority by 2063. The research by Matt Goodwin of Buckingham University suggests that by the end of the century, the white British share of the population could have fallen to around 33.7%.
Otherwise known as Americanization.
Yeah, it projects a big rise in the proportion of the UK population comprising foreign-born and second-generation immigrants from below 20% to 33.5% within the next 25 years. By 2100, it predicts 6 in 10 people in the UK will either not have been born in the UK or will have at least one immigrant parent. It's not tenable. That is not in any, even you do these calculations in a pure fucking vacuum without understanding that things would not be able to get to that point in the first place and the country still function. You know what I mean? Under your current projections, if things continue at this rate, yeah, but clearly they can't if you do not want the country to completely collapse. Which ultimately they don't. They want it to be, in terms of the powers that be, do not want to totally destroy.
No, they want to get
countries.
theirs and then leave. whoever's people doing this will just fuck off to the Bahamas or to Malta, or these other fucking little pocket
Yep.
nations. They'll probably come over here to
The
Guernsey so they
goal
can
is not
displace
to-
more of the locals.
Sure, the goal is not to actively destroy them; it's to make them clients.
Yeah, to basically make them indentured slaves in their own fucking nation.
Yes.
I think
So-
that is the case with some of them. I do think some of them literally want to erase the Europeans. I wonder
Well,
which
there
ones
are-
I'm
there-
talking
certainly.
about.
Yeah, there is a portion that certainly does want that.
Spiteful mutants who wear small hair.
And yes, mezcal squid, absolutely. Unlimited economic growth. Yes, that's always the argument. Oh, but GDP go up, GDP go brr.
Yes, I like the
right? No.
yes, I like the way that
The value of
the
it
places
plummets.
these countries come from do not have strong GDP growth, but for some bizarre reason, when we bring them over here, they will somehow have strong GDP growth. Which is the implication of this is
Because
that
of
if they have good managers, they will be more productive. If that's the case, then why the
Yeah.
fuck did you get rid of colonialism?
Only the best and brightest rapists and murderers. Spin the bee for two
End up in
two
prison.
They're
euros
all
says
part
might be
of,
worth,
part of Arsenal these days.
says might be worth going the Linux path like Pewds. Yeah, I've thought about it. It's not a problem for anything but streaming. I use Brave. That's why I had it up because I use it. And by the way, I had like 50 tabs open.
My
on
PC
Brave
can't
before we
install
started
Linux for
streaming.
some
It's
bizarre
just-
reason.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't recognize the
What, you
enemy
can't-
drives.
Well, you can just dual boot.
No, it doesn't recognize the drive. I can't install it on it.
Yeah, you partition your drive.
No, it doesn't see the drive.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I haven't installed Linux in a long time. Let's see. The Muslim population, which currently stands at 7%, is estimated to increase to more than 1 in 10, 11.2% within the next 25 years, and account for 1 in 5, 19.2% of all people in the UK by the end of the century. And also, I don't believe that. Because, yeah, they reproduce, and there's a lot of them. And they reproduce quickly, I mean. But they keep interbreeding with their cousins, who end up
They
like,
are-
horribly disfigured and unable.
Pakistani, if a Pakistani pregnancy has an over 50% chance of self-abortion.
I thought it
It
was
will
70.
literally, 70% is the rate of average Muslim incest
Oh,
on
okay, that was the
first cousin or worse.
or more, yeah.
For the pregnancy completely failing as a direct result of that, it's over half of Pakistani-born, like blooded, like pregnancies ended in self-termination.
Yeah.
by the-
Is it really 7%? Feels like it's more.
It's way
the thing
more.
is that I'm a little bit skeptical of that number as well. But what are they getting that from? However, the Muslim population, maybe
Their own
they mean
genes.
like practicing Muslims. They mean practicing Muslims, not brown people who come from Muslim countries who don't practice Islam actively or something. I'm not sure. Goodwin, an honorary professor at Kent University, said the research based on the Office for National Statistics, ONS, and census data raised profound questions about the capacity of the UK state to both absorb and manage a scale of demographic change. But this comes right...
When has it ever
this
done that?
comes right after what? Right after what? Right after Starmer says, oh, I'm going to send 25,000 back. We have to stop the boats. His big switcheroo shit going on. Which Scrump and Evelyn completely fucking predicted like 3 years ago. Would be exactly what would happen there. In his report, he said the findings were certain to spark a considerable degree of anxiety, concern, and political opposition among many voters who favored lowering immigration and slowing the pace of change in order to maintain the symbols, traditions, cultures, and ways of life of the traditional majority group. I love how they can't even say Britons or anything. The traditional majority group.
Traditional majority, not the locals or the...
The traditional majority group.
Native
not the
English
natives.
population.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're
I've
not
noticed the word-
indigenous.
The word native is used for every group except whites.
Of course it is. Of course it is. It's to,
So apparently we fell from the
dehumanize you.
fucking sky.
Well,
I mean, we are. We may as well be. We are
some people
heavenly.
certain people certainly seem to treat.
Because we were
white people
heavenly,
that
we would
way.
have dealt with this problem before rather than pussyfooting around.
Well, So my point on this is that
Oy
this
vey.
is all part of the time has changed. The needle has moved. So now we're allowed to talk about this stuff openly.
I'm
Because Starmer
moving
is
the
saying to
needle.
send them back, no more boats. And now all of a sudden, not only is it okay to talk about it, but here's this report where we found that if we don't do anything about it, then the British will become the minority within the next 50 years. Well, yeah, we've
I'd
been
like to
saying that
move
the
the
entire
needle,
time that if you did
specifically the
continue down
plunger.
this trajectory.
Slowly.
So what I just find annoying about all of this is that when you start to notice that, yes, now all of a sudden a thing you've been yelling about for years and years and years and been told, no, you're wrong, and that's evil for you to say that. It's evil for you to think about it. This is not acceptable things to be talking about. You go to prison for this. People did go to prison for this in the UK just last year over the Southport, the Southport riots, protests, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
Just last year, it was a jail, and people are still in jail, to be fair. And now we get all kinds of headlines like this, research being published, oh, look at this research we did. Oh, it is bad. If we don't stop the boats, then, now, of course, you do still get the hangers on Twitter, at least I saw some of it, of this is a good thing. It's not happening, but it's a good thing. Or I guess maybe are they admitting it's happening now and it's a good thing? It depends on where you are in a particular cycle of whether or not it actually is happening.
Just accept the fucking the fact of the
bigot.
matter, which is they want to kill you.
Yes,
I'll tap
as
the
we've often
sign.
said.
Someone
it
called
comes
me a
down to.
Dago? How the fuck am I Dago?
Huh?
It's like the only slur you couldn't be called out of the pseudo-white races.
No, we were just talking about the eternal Dutchman the other day, weren't we, Spoon?
And by we, he means like you leveled a meme at me and basically said
Yeah,
I
I
am
did.
controlling the entire world. I'm even controlling the Jews.
I said, yeah, with spices. It's the
Well, yeah.
Dutch. They're behind
Because the
everything.
Jews
Dutch
might have
control
had
the
owned
Jews
the-
with spices.
Yeah. Well, the Jews owned the slave boats, but the companies that ran the boats
But
were
who
Dutch.
owned the boats? The Dutch. Bum, bum, bum. It's always the Dutch. The eternal Dutchman. The report follows a period of unprecedented
seed
legal and
fuckers.
illegal immigration. Reaching a record high of 906,000 under the Tories, of course, in 2023, and subsequent crackdowns, including Labour's white paper this month proposing restrictions on the rights of migrants to live, work, and study in the UK. He said by the end of the current century, most of the people on these islands will not be able to trace their roots in this country back more than 1 or 2 generations. By the year... Do we get the idea of this?
Right, you get to be rootless savages with no ties to the places where you live. You'll own
they
nothing,
do
and
have
not
that.
only will it be nothing, you won't even have history.
Having a population of rootless savages, at least a certain portion of it, is useful to the
Yeah.
government.
Except in our
But-
countries,
but
that
you
Any
know
government
what?
that would
they
have
reside
it
in the
doesn't
government.
deserve to exist.
But then, of course, once you tip over, then you end up in Zimbabwe versus Rhodesia. Then you end up with the case in South Africa. Where, as much as they have gone on and on about how much they hate these groups, they are the ones that are propping up the system that allow it to function whatsoever. So they can't really be replaced. However,
Yeah.
you can abuse the shit out of them and create a cycle of and system of learned helplessness, so they'll shut up. And in periods like this, we're like, well, we'll walk back the amount of the migration because right now that's not.
Do you know how you reactivate
now you're allowed to be afraid
the
about it.
eternal Anglo?
You
You tell women to shut the fuck up.
Well, wait, how does
That
that
is the
activate
way
the
you
eternal
save
Anglo?
the West. You say, women, shut the fuck up. Your opinions are meaningless and we are going to do what the hell we want to. That is literally how you save the West. The reason
find
why
these
the
truths
West
to
is
be
in this
self-evident.
condition is because of women. Women
There's
and
been
the
some good
pathetic
evidence for
fucking
that,
empathy.
considering the what we're going to be covering today. and-
Yes.
and the desperate attempt to grab back male attention, which the conservatives don't seem to have caught on to yet and are bizarrely counter-signaling. But much like, oh, yeah, we have to get the, excuse me, I was about to say native Britons, but excuse me, native English people. But what was the term they used here? Some the
Previous majority.
traditional population or something like that? What was it? It was right above this. The traditional majority group, yes.
Yes.
If you see
All of a
someone
sudden you care
using
about
this
the traditional
term
majority
while
group.
I'm being
Males.
informed, not to say
Throw a
anything
Lego
else.
block,
UK, Brits.
Lego block at their head.
Yeah. Right. Oh my god.
Vex, no one believes that joke.
She has a crush on the woman in the thumbnail. Do you?
No.
Do you have a crush on Olivia?
I don't like wildlife.
Did you see? Why no?
Why'd you go to the
It looks
safari
like it
park,
belongs
sir?
in the fucking sea.
We have
You
then
don't wanna-
the counterpoint about what type, if we're to scale back the migration. But for the migrants that are still coming, migrants who hate Jews shouldn't be allowed in Britain, says Brendan O'Neill.
I don't know if you've noticed this, but then most of the fucking people you
I'm not
brought
gonna
into
read
Britain
this.
should piss
I
off.
don't wanna
Yes.
read through this. Okay.
Yes,
if
we
you're a
should.
if you're a foreigner who hates Jews, should you be allowed to move to Britain? For me, it's a no-brainer. Absolutely not.
I'm sorry, but
But
how
that's
much
all
of Britain's
them, you
population?
idiots!
How much of Britain's
How you gonna ask?
population is Jews?
Yeah. What's the percentage of England's
Virtually
versus the UK's
fuck
population
all.
that's Jewish? Basically none. Yeah.
Right. So
How are you going to find this
have-
out? Are you just going to start blanket banning people from certain regions?
However,
Yeah.
I will say, I was in when I was in England most recently. We did go to like Jewtown. We went to a Jew deli, and they didn't even have Reubens. And also, they fucked up my order. I was a little pissed. I asked for what was it? Pickle
fries.
French fries. They were described.
No,
French
it
fries.
was pickle fries.
You said pickle fries, but they weren't
Yeah,
made out
because
of
then
pickles. It was fries
they
with
brought out
pickles on
tofu
top of them.
fries and said no,
And they
tofu's
brought me
pickles.
tofu. And then told me that tofu. They were like, "Oy vey goyim, tofu or pickles," and I was just like, okay,
Legit
whatever.
tried to gaslight you
know?
to your face.
Trying to gaslight me, trying to tofu gaslight me. Anyway, it was nice other than that, but I was just there. I'm right in the center of the little, Jewish enclave. Yes, it was
In such
Jewtown. That's
cases.
the best way to describe it. Yes. The safety and dignity of Britain's Jews count for infinitely more than the rights
Oh,
of
they
a
get
racist
dignity and
migrant.
safety. No fucker else
Oh
does.
my god! I know. Holy shit! Just saying that shit. Does the Labour government agree? Does it agree that overseas anti-Semites are not welcome here? We're about to find out.
How are you
They're
going to find
just-
out? Do you intend to ask everyone below a certain like color scheme as they come
Yeah,
in?
you gotta get out the Family Guy.
Do you hate the Jews?
Color, color coder. There are disturbing reports emerging that a man from Gaza with very iffy views has arrived in Britain. One guy, okay. Meanwhile, there's thousands. He goes by the name Abu Wadi. That's a Star Wars character. He is said to be an influencer with a substantial following on social media. Last week, he reportedly posted a video of him. Dude, this language.
Is
he
this whole
covering
thing
his
just so they?
ass.
Okay, I know what this is. This is 100% just I don't want Hassan visiting the UK.
Well,
That's
I
what
don't
this
either.
is. No one
I don't
does.
either.
No one wants Hassan going anywhere except to the fucking job centre to get a proper job.
Yeah.
But this is this is just like swings
Do
and
you
roundabouts.
really
I don't
want him
like
to
Hassan.
be in any job where someone has to
what
deal
job
with
could
him?
he possibly do?
Yeah, he should be working a shawarma place like the rest of his fucking family does.
Well, no, they're all a bunch of wannabe oligarchs.
So is everyone
Let's see,
else,
where
man.
was I? Last week, he reportedly posted a video of himself sporting a keffiyeh while crammed into a dinghy in the English Channel.
Might
Thank
be a good
God we
sparring
arrived
partner
in
for
Britain,
someone.
the video caption said. Dude,
geez.
this has been
No.
going on for
Okay,
fucking
Spoon.
decades. and
Have
all
you
of a
ever
sudden you
seen
got an issue with
Hassan
it. Oh,
doing fight training?
Yes,
video.
that's
It's so
why I
funny.
said so.
it's so funny.
Oh god,
Okay, yes.
like
Okay, I think you misunderstand when I said by
It is-
good. I mean, like, he will be punched by somebody competent. That's kind of what I meant.
Okay, yes. There you go. Yes.
well, he doesn't need to go wait for that.
It is thought that Wadi is in his mid-30s and originally from Khan Yunis. He's believed to have been among the 235 migrants picked up by a border force boat from 4 dinghies in the Channel last Thursday. According to the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism, he has a track record of spouting vile views including calling for the slaughter of all Jewish people. The CAA
How
has
does he
poured
feel about
over
Hugo
Wadi's alleged
Boss?
social media output. I mean, Hugo Boss, stylish.
Yeah.
He would seem to be a keen supporter of Hamas and a self-proclaimed member of the so-called tire-burning unit, a militant gaggle of extremists known for hurling firebombs at Israelis manning the Gaza border. He's also alleged to have
Militant
posed with AK-47s, leading even the Independent to wonder out aloud if an alleged Palestinian gunman has just slipped into Britain. I can't read today. Anyway, hopefully.
Also, I
I'll-
like how everyone suddenly
all
turns into
involved
Enoch
with
Powell as long as it's talking about not white people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, how
that.
interesting is that, isn't it? Yeah, right. Remember I said, though, I said after the shooting at the embassy.
Even
that this
fucking
was
Douglas
and the
Murray was
immediate
more subtle
response.
than this.
Yeah. That this was clearly the pivot that was happening, was that we
Yes.
all need to get together to support Israel, our greatest ally, whether it's
It's his
England
seeming
or
Jew
the
hatred that
United
is most
States,
chilling.
you know?
No, actually, it's not. Not at all.
Huh?
It's his seeming Jew hatred that is most chilling. Like, not really, no.
Oh, I know. Oh, you're reminding him, yeah. He's alleged to have posted a video in which he says, "Oh Allah, punish the Jews and those who support them. We must find a final solution for these people." He reportedly said, "Oh Allah, kill them all. We do not leave a single one of them." You were all fine with this shit for 30 fucking years. You knew that they felt this way. This is so fucking obvious when they just I feel
Yeah,
like I'm
you're
taking crazy
literally
pills, but
bringing
it's
people next
always
to the
like
fucking
this.
region.
When you just watch the fucking narrative shift in real fucking time. Holy shit.
Why are you surprised? They told you that they were like this.
It's just crazy to act.
It's to make more
it
anti-Semitic
happens all the time.
laws in where all these people go.
Well, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, of
obviously.
course. The only people you won't be allowed to discriminate against. I mean, you would definitely be allowed to discriminate against whites, but you won't be allowed to discriminate against Jews.
Folks at home,
This
if you
is
get
the
called
next
racist either
one
way,
around
just be
the,
racist.
block. Everybody
Yeah,
else
it's
is.
actually
Yeah.
basic function.
There will be listen. We've established who are the main fucking inquisitors when it comes to the anti-racism crowd. Women who fold as soon as they get any outside mob pressure. Women. Like it's very cut and dry. Just be racist. Eventually, there'll be a threshold where everyone will stop towing the line.
Yeah.
You need to be trendsetters, folks.
Yes, imagine if all the women were like Charlotte Hendricks.
Can your dinghy do the Kessel Run in under 5 parsecs? I'm sure.
That is a Star Wars
Oh, I
reference
love
for those of you who are not nerdy enough.
Everyone got the Star Wars right. If the CIA is right and Wadi really did express such genocidal hatred of Jews, then he must be removed from the country immediately. I don't
Bro's
know,
trying
I
to
don't know how to break this
cancel
to
a
you.
terrorist.
Bro, I don't know how to tell you this, but as we just read, that's 7% of the country who thinks that way. No
Yeah.
delays, no.
I'm doing my part.
If a newcomer to these shores, especially an illegal one, is found to harbor an apocalyptic loathing for the the language, bro. Apocalyptic loathing for the Jewish people, he must be expelled from these lands instantly and permanently. You welcomed them with
Take him to the
open
principal,
arms for
have him
30 years.
expelled.
Brendan, were you
covered
getting
up.
fisted by Netanyahu to write this shit or something? What the fucking hell? This is insane.
All these fucking people either directly or indirectly helped cover up the fucking grooming gangs. Oh no, they're Muslims are just like anyone else. They don't, this is racism.
If you want to destroy Edom, you better make sure you're not living there whilst you do it.
It's so fucking frustrating. It's all so tiresome.
Imagine thinking you're like, okay, this is just God's chosen people doing what they do best, which is setting up their own downfall at every single fucking stage.
Aren't parsecs
Look at this. The Wadi
Yeah,
scandal shines a harsh light on Britain's border crisis. Who exactly is coming here, and what foul regressive ideologies are they bringing with them? Motherfucker, you've been asking that question for 2 fucking decades.
I know.
But now that's affecting a minuscule minority who doesn't even fucking belong in Britain, by the way.
Who will just
Britain
fuck off
is
and they'll
Christian,
just
not
leave anyway.
fucking Jewish.
Doesn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Doesn't this just boil your fucking blood to see
It's
the shift
so
happen
clear
in
now that
this kind
having
of time
porous
frame?
borders doesn't only corrode our national sovereignty, but our national
my God.
security too. It is a scandal that very informs of anti-Semitism. Who fucking cares?
No, you made this bed.
Willing to
You
say this
you
shit
shit
as
this
long as
bed.
it's
Now
the-
you're going to lay in it, and we're gonna fucking whole Dutch oven you with your own fucking misery. You're gonna reap what you sow.
But how curious is that too? Is that it's only all right to espouse essentially these what were punishable by jail time, criminal beliefs.
And when they say
in
jail
England,
time, they basically
as
mean
long
we're
as
gonna
you say-
put you in a room with a Muslim till he kills you.
as long as you say that your rationale for not wanting them in the country is to protect Jews, not to avoid the replacement, although of the previous majority,
Native.
whatever that was, the natives. Yes, I'm
Indigenous
using their
fucking the
verbiage.
people to whom the country fucking belongs.
Yeah.
We need a bit
Oh
of
my
blood and
God,
soil in
okay.
Europe again.
Yeah. We need to get real about immigration from these benighted parts of the world where anti-Semitism flourishes. For me, that was the most alarming thing about the judge's decision last month to let a family from Gaza settle in Britain under the Ukrainian refugee scheme. It's not Islamophobic to say there's difference between Ukrainian migrants and Gazan migrants.
But is it racist?
They're
to say
straight
there's a
up
difference
calling
between
for
the ethnic
apartheid.
English and
Oh my
everyone
God,
else.
I know. Well, yeah, they don't speak English. Gaza has been ruled by a virulently anti-Semitic government for 20 years. It was from
I wonder
Gaza
why.
that the worst mass murder of Jews since the Holocaust was launched on October 7th, 2023.
Oh
Studies have found
my
that anti-
God,
I know, there it
seriously?
was.
Oh,
There it
what?
is.
Just like okay. Here's the thing. Every time there's any mild fucking conflict against the Jewish people, they call it a Holocaust, so they can keep fucking churning out Holocaust survivors.
Harry is the one who found this article, by the way. This shit is
Oh,
fucking
thanks,
awful.
Harry.
I skimmed it the other day. Yeah. Oh, where was I? Let's see.
You called me
studies have found
before
that
duplicitous
anti-Semitism-
South African bastards. I'm going to call you a shystering Englishman. fucking asshole.
Studies have found that anti-Semitism is prevalent in many schools in Gaza. No, this is not to say all Gazans are anti-Semites, but surely we owe it to Britain's Jews to be vigilant about the arrival of people from that strange and tragic corner of
what
the
precisely
globe.
has Britain's Jews done for them? Ever?
Yeah, good question. They gave us Douglas Murray. They should be punished for that alone.
Many on the anti-racist left cheered that judge's decision. Clearly, virtue signaling now takes precedence over cool-headed analysis.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Clearly, now?
Just now.
When the fuck did it ever?
I just noticed.
Everyone turns. Like, listen, watch it. The second the Jews are threatened, everyone's fucking Enoch Powell.
Oh my god.
This person is upset because a family from Gaza with no priors, no history to speak of that we are aware of anything, just simply the fact that they came from that region.
This dislikes another country that has fuck all to do with England.
Yeah.
If you import the third world, you'll import their petty blood feuds over a spit of rock that isn't even theirs.
Right. What is the price of their virtue? It is potentially the endangerment of Britain's Jews as more people with unenlightened attitudes arrive. Can you fucking...
You have one as you're writing this fucking article.
It sounds like a 1930s screed you'd get from fucking H.P. Lovecraft if you switched the word Jew for Anglo or something.
Yeah. Kemi Badenoch got a load of flack last year when she said there are too many people coming to Britain who hate Israel, but she was right. A frothing loathing for the world's only Jewish state is a marker for bigotry and backwardness. It is very often a marker for anti-Semitism itself.
I was doing this
Going forward, Jewish security should be made into a key goal of Britain's immigration policy. First step, kick Wadi out. Because that's what Brendan wants you to do.
After pogroms, 7 October,
you're a client state.
Israel and the crisis of civilization. Oh my fucking
The whole world are a client state to Israel. You're all just shabos for the state.
Apparently. Groovarfer 2 says Vance was right and reminder Canada doesn't exist. Well, we've got the little bit of news about Canada. But, yeah. So, my last bit of UK news is that, Doctor Who, the recent season ended, and it's look, my reaction to it, I use this tweet for a reason, is exactly as his reaction. Just translate post to what? Come on. Like
just added in ha ha ha.
Thanks, Google. Very cool. So
by the way, click on a thumbs up for the translation.
Yes, a great translation. Thank you.
There we go.
So Cutie Gatwa, who has just played the gay black doctor for the last 2 years, has been replaced by Billy Piper.
She looks as fucking more surprised as he does.
Well, I think she was because, according to some of the rumors I've heard floating around this, is that Russell T Davies called her in like a month ago to shoot this. Basically unprompted. Didn't have any idea of how to end the show and thought they'd end it on a cliffhanger of the Doctor regenerating as you know, former fan favorite Billy Piper, and fan favorite still, which he already did with David Tennant. And of course, David Tennant is an insufferable lefty, which him being back in the spotlight did not really help the show, which has become nothing but insufferable lefty politics. And Jesus Christ, I was watching Dispar's review of the last couple of episodes, and it's just, I mean, the politicization of it is off the fucking charts. And so again, is this woke going away? Woke quite literally went away. Cutie Gatwad fucking disappeared and became Billy Piper. I think that's just because right now, apparently, they are really struggling to maintain that Disney money. Disney does not want to keep paying for a show that has done nothing but cost it money. When that is no longer...
In fairness, that is kind of Disney's fucking fault.
Well, yes, because that was the gestalt at the time. That was the mandate, was make everything, brown and gay.
Okay, that's a very dramatic
removed.
Fucking headline.
Yeah, Doctor Who viewers switch off. Wait, excuse me.
Let's go back there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to it.
Go back there. After featuring trans, non-binary, and drag queen characters exterminate... They're not dead.
Well,
They're just fucked off.
That's just a Doctor Who thing. You know, that's the Daleks.
Yeah, but I know, but it's the people who are not familiar with it, that just sounds like it goes like Disney's on a rampage of fucking just mass murdering fans.
This is the Daily Mail. I mean... But what that would be, I mean, they're certainly murdering their
Give it a go.
Yeah.
hope and hope and ability to have fun. That's for sure. And that is true. There have been trans, non-binary, drag queen characters. All of this has been
42%
in the
of Doctor Who
last
fans say now the
couple-
show has gotten worse since 2005. 2 fucking
I'm
decades.
shocked. It's how is it only 42% who think it's gotten worse since 2005 at its absolute fucking peak?
Well, because
Well,
the other
I
ones
really
have been
like
exterminated.
Christopher Eccleston. Did they die? Maybe. Well, no. What it is
I'm going by the
is they
headline.
don't watch it anymore. They're not fans anymore. They haven't been fans for years. That's what it is.
The joke went over your
42% of those who are still fucking watching. And what was it?
I said it was because they've been exterminated. Hence the title of the
Oh, okay.
article.
Yeah. Well, that implies that they actually died, which they might have, but I think most of them just stopped watching.
Wish
And,
I
then
had.
and it's evident that they stopped watching because the ratings have been in the absolute tank.
Well, they were
A survey of
exterminated.
2,135 people, carried out by London firm JL Partners, set up by people who previously ran research programs for Theresa May as Prime Minister. The apparent slump in popularity for Doctor Who comes after a series of appearances by trans, non-binary, and drag queen characters in recent years. Last Saturday's season finale, Gatwa's Time Lord regenerated, and fans got a glimpse of Billie Piper, who played Rose Tyler for 35 episodes from 2005 to 2013. I loved Rose. But it's just here is the non-binary character. Here's the drag queen. I mean, at least the drag queen was a villain. But Jesus Christ, it's so fucking sinister. Yeah. Overall, 38% of people responded by saying it puts social justice and woke issues over quality, rising to 46% among those still tuning into the show, which is not many people. Only 18% approve of it. This is the first ever major poll done on attitudes to Doctor Who, and results are bleak. Yeah. The public believe a once great show has lost its way, and their biggest complaint is it puts pursuit of wokeness above entertainment value. The main words associated with it are rubbish, boring, and woke. Now, the other thing that I've heard floating around about what's happened here is that because they brought in Billy last minute to film this, which is why it looks so bad, because apparently it was filmed a month ago, or a month before airing, is that they really don't know if the show is going to continue. So there's a very real possibility that it just ends on this cliffhanger and then doesn't pick up again for another decade. I doubt that will happen, but I've heard people speculating that it will just go away, because it happened before. It has happened in the past with Doctor Who. How long was Doctor Who off the air? It was something like 10 years. So it has happened before. Redneck Ram for 20 says, "Hey Aiden, can you get me a nice ooh from Spoon, please? I will find the ooh."
Well, that was on the goals.
Oh yeah,
No.
Spoon. He won't do it. Like, he's no fun. He fell right over. But however, I can do this. Here we go.
No.
I should put a goal. I should try to put
Don't
a
do
goal
it.
in. Also, if you would, tell us in your Japanese weeb speak, big mommy milkers, okina kasan no, what is the chichi? Yeah.
Now say it in a weird
Oki-kasan no chichi.
anime way.
Want to be Opie?
Oh, chichi or oppai, yeah. Oh wait, chichi. Is that something else? Did my brain get totally busted? Dude, it probably just said something fucked up. Yeah, oppai is another word for boobs, so that one definitely is. Yeah, oki oppai, which is big milkers. Well, gyunyu is milk. Gyunyu is milk, so how would you say milkers in that way? I don't know. Kara-san is mother, big is oki, or dai, depending. Dai means great or grand. There you go. Something to that effect. I don't exactly know how to say mommy milkers. That really would capture the essence of what mommy milkers means. And Nazaro just gave €6. Thank you so much, man. Let me see if I can set up the goal. Do we have a goal? What's the goal?
Objective, survive.
Objective, survive. Okay, cool. Wait, that's the wrong thing. Let me...
Mission
okay?
failed. We'll get them next time.
Anyway, we'll get them next time. Yeah, what do I got next? Okay. So let's move into the war for white men, or against white men, depending on which side of the aisle. And apparently the Democrats have decided they want to fight for white men, men in general, but white men,
I
certainly
still
amongst
need
them.
to do a video on Joe Rogan, because I know the left
What
want
did
to
Con
make.
Rogan do this time?
No. They want a left-wing Joe Rogan.
Oh yes. They've been saying that for years though. And they were trying
None of
to
them
make
are
it Hassan
interesting.
Piker.
They've already failed.
For years. I mean, I remember an article about that from years and years ago of how we need a Joe Rogan for the left, right?
But
and
that. Okay, I'm just ranting
Joe
about
Frogan,
this.
if you will.
yes.
Yeah, the
Joe
reason.
Frogan, Joe Frogan.
Maybe do you want to read the article first?
Yeah, let's get into it. So Democrats set out to study young men. Here are their findings. A widely mocked project to get under the hood about why Democrats are losing young men has sobering results, says Politico. Let me zoom in here a little bit. Here, would you go ahead with it for a minute, Spoon, while I...
Let's see. The Democrats trying to understand young American men know people are roasting their plan. Yeah, but they don't know why they're being roasted. All that mocking just proves their point. They said Democrats aren't taking this disaffected and politically alienated voting bloc seriously enough. It reaffirms what young men already think. The Democrats don't want to invest in you, said Elise Hogue, I'm imagining, who co-founded the Speaking with American Men Project. Oh my god, it sounds gay as shit. The group has a 2-year, $20 million budget to study young men and how Democrats can reach them. All your
Fuck, give
policies...
me the money. I'll tell you for free.
Yeah, exactly. You suck, and your policies are cringy, gay, and undermine self-determination. There you go. That's literally it. Your only way of helping men is through the state, and the men don't want help from the state. They want the state to fuck off. That's literally it.
But they also don't actually intend to help men.
Yes.
You know, it was what Scrump wrote about earlier, which, I mean, it's just that he just happened to post it in our chat today, about the goal is, and the point is to have these client groups of people who are dependent on the state, but they do still need people to run shit. This is about getting men to be willing to do stuff again, because they are checking out. We've had statistics on this that have, I mean, consistently over the last 5 years in particular, but 10 years and going backwards, men are checking more and more out of society because they have no reason to function within it, because they are ostracized.
All we've learned is that it doesn't matter how many dogs a researcher tortures, we'll still have to reconvene the fucking exact same fucking exercise every 10 years or so, because people will not learn.
Yeah. Because it's run by women who learn fuck all.
Massive mommy milkers. Yeah, I don't know that first one, but the second character there is big.
Everything in vain.
Say like Okina, and then it just says, then the things next to that, simply green, that just says mommy milkers in English essentially, but it's in the Japanese script. Mommy milkers.
Which sounds horribly racist.
Actually says what says mama milkers. Mikurus. There you go. It's a katakana, which is just how you write foreign words.
Oh, look at, by the way, this next bit is just so fucking cringe. Look at this. The group has a 2-year, $20 million budget to study young men and how Democrats can reach them. The result of an initial round of research shared exclusively with Politico, including 30 focus groups and a national media consumption survey. By the way, this is so fucking cringe. The fact that you need to talk to men to understand their problems, as if... Like, that just tells me
they need $20 million to do it?
Yes, it's just
this
whole thing is just a money laundering scheme.
Yeah, many young men believe that neither party has our back, as one black man from Georgia said in a focus group. Yeah, participants described the Democratic Party as an overscripted and cautious, while Republicans seen as confident and unafraid to offend. Yeah, that's because you're fucking boring.
I thought this whole thing was try and capture white men. It's like fucking...
Well, no, it's men in general, but they are saying men in general.
That was clearly
but let's be
done.
Clear about what they mean. They mean white men.
Yes.
Yeah. They weren't.
Democrats are seen as weak.
That we've lost the local.
Yes, whereas Republicans are seen as strong. Hogue said young men also spoke of being invisible to the Democratic coalition, and since you've got this weak problem and you've got this, I don't think they care about me problems, and I think the combination is kind of a killer. Yeah, true.
I mean,
the SAN project,
with the exception of Biden, but it wasn't even an exception with Biden. Biden was there for, oh, look, he's an established politician who has, a long history in the Democrat Party. That was always about, oh, look, we've got a brown woman vice president. That was why people voted for the Biden ticket. It was why women in particular, voted for Hillary Clinton. I mean, it's completely vapid and stupid, but that's what democracy is. Exactly, that's what democracy is, all vapid and stupid.
I hope you push more women, by the way, because the more women that can get crushed under the heel of a man, the happier I will be. Because at this point in time, I will openly say this, I fucking hate women in politics. You ruin everything. You are stupid people,
Yeah.
and no matter how high your IQ is, you do not understand the basic fundamentals of humanity because you childless fucking whores take your stupid childish nurturing capabilities and you direct it to literally everyone else because no one will fucking breed with you. You need to
Well,
take
women
that
have been
nurturing,
hang
push
on.
it to children, and then shut the fuck up and get out of
Yes.
politics.
Yes, women have been so discouraged from having children, which is all part of a grander scheme too. Because again, you want these,
Gotta keep
you
an eye,
don't want
etc.
too many white people. You want them to be under control. If you're running the
Edom
government.
won't fall if white people are there and actually competent.
So
Yeah, because you know what
that's,
happens
one
when
of
white
those things
people are
is
looked around when they
discourage
look
women
around and
from
they realize they're
reproducing.
competent, they're gonna go, "Why the hell do we have any of these people around us? They contribute nothing."
The whole thing is though, like, make women think that the only thing that matters is their job, is their
Social credit.
career, social credit, looking good amongst other women, which is it's very easy to influence women in that way. Is as long as you can influence a couple to then go influence their friend group, they will do so.
It's
And women
democracy and
will
women's
listen to their
spoon's favorite.
friends.
Yeah,
Yes.
two things I hate
Ram Bam
most than anything else in
3000.
the world.
Rambam 3000 for £5 says, more power to all of you, Worthy, Aiden, Bill, and Spoon. Thank you so much, man. Loose for the Doberman for 5 Canadian says, isn't it crazy that PSA Sitch did a face reveal in a Glenn Greenwald video? Oh man, that's so mean. We live in interesting times. Bro, come on now.
Yeah, the Chinese sense of the term.
What did Sitch do to deserve that?
You know what's quite funny is that
Oh.
democracy and women are the two things I detest the most. They're also the two things that most women talk to me about, which is quite bizarre.
Democracy? Well, I talked to you about
And
democracy.
hating women is actually very popular with most of my females.
Well, yeah, women.
Which is quite
there's only
strange,
Women hate
yeah.
more than other women. No, it's not strange. It's because women.
Women hate women more
despite
than
all the,
anyone.
Oh, we're in
Yeah.
the sisterhood. We're all together. All they do is talk shit about each other behind each other's backs.
Yeah, do you want to know how that goes
we
out the
get
window?
catty and stalk,
Throw dick in the group.
Yeah, and it falls the fuck apart.
Yes.
Don't understand women.
I'm
Women
very
understand
I'm
women.
very lucky that I have
Yeah, and they hate each
have
other.
a nice group of female friends who are all in relationships, and so it's not and it's all online, so it's not a fucking issue. But typically that's how female friendship groups work. Yes. Let's see. The
These are good
SAM
ones anyway.
project, which turned into a punchline for liberals and conservatives alike, is pitching itself, as we'll see, it's pitching itself to donors and officials as a hub for research, paid advertising, and influencer outreach that's focused on young men, a once critical part of the Democrat coalition that they lost to President Trump in 2024 and 2016 and 2020. Let's be real. The group was founded by Hogue, the former president of NARAL, John Della Volpe, a pollster who specializes in Gen Z voters, and former Texas Republican Colin Allred, who unsuccessfully ran for Senate last year. So a bunch of winners. The focus groups found that young men feel they are in
very
crisis,
subtle.
stressed, ashamed, and confused over what it means to be a man in 2025. Gee, I wonder why.
No, I
It's
think
almost like you told
Democrats
them
feel that
being
way.
well, they say young men, but and I don't think Democrats feel an ounce of shame for anything.
No.
Stressed and confused, yes. Stressed and confused, and not knowing what a man is, absolutely. But I don't think they feel ashamed.
No.
They
That's
vented about
that's what they think men feel.
That's what they say. That
Stressed,
their,
ashamed,
Their
and
focus
confused.
group found.
Yes.
Projection.
Well, I think that men probably have been made to feel ashamed by these people. That they should. That's why do you think so many of them are becoming women? I mean, maybe some of it's shame. Maybe some of it's just I want to stop being treated like a second-class citizen because I was born
I
a
want the
male,
lambasting to
and that's
stop.
apparently the worst thing I can be. Yeah. Whereas if I just pretend to be a woman, I mean, it's far easier. No one's allowed to say a mean thing to you. No one's allowed to say anything to you negative. Up until, again, we started to put this shit away.
And you get closer to mentally unstable women.
And I always say this when I talk about the woke stuff going away, and because they always write about it, of course. But people will then point out, say, like, oh, but this, and I do have some stuff for the Pride Month segment that not all of it's going away. It does not mean that all of it will go away. There will always be
It will just
hangers on,
change form.
just like there are people who still wear masks. You're always going to get people who cannot let go of it because it has become part of their sense of self. And there's a lot of them really involving the gay stuff and particularly involving the trans stuff, considering they fucking mutilated themselves. So they're going to be difficult to slough off. I mean, a lot of them will handle that themselves, tragically. However, you see what I mean. Those people you can't easily deconvert from something that they've permanently removed themselves from the gene pool over. They vented about conflicting cultural messages of masculinity that put them in a no-win situation around the meaning of a man. Well, they are in a no-win situation. The Democrats don't even know what a man is. Most of them won't define it. Anyone who identifies as a man. What the fuck does that mean? They described how the COVID pandemic left them feel isolated and socially disconnected. They also said they now feel overwhelmed by economic anxiety, making traditional milestones like buying a home or saving for kids' college feel impossible. People can't even buy a home. Most of Gen Z is never going to be able to own a home, on current estimates.
I'm the only
ever.
homeowner in my age group that I know of.
That's fucking unbelievable. The degree, I mean, it's
I
unbelievable
know a single.
that is
Everyone
the
else
case.
rent.
Yeah, it's unbelievable
Recycling.
that is the case. But that is the case everywhere. And look, and this home too was, you know, your family has owned it, so we didn't like buy it off the open market or anything, you know.
God no, you wouldn't have ever.
Right,
got
we
this
wouldn't be
off
able
the
to.
market, You wouldn't have afford it.
Absolutely, we wouldn't be able to have you know, a home if it wasn't, if we weren't in that position. Most people,
That's how it
even
used
in
to
our
be
age
traditionally, is you would
bracket-
pass it down.
Well, yeah. Well, oh God, but most boomers, the boomer mentality of, I'll just keep all of my possessions and I'll accumulate more and more and more, and then one
I
day
cannot
I'll
wait till the
die.
boomers fucking die off. They really are just
No,
dreadful.
because all their goods will just go to
generation.
BlackRock.
Well, I love my parents who are boomers, but there is this boomer mentality of just, no, I worked hard, I worked, you know, I got pulled
Yeah,
up
no,
on my
you didn't.
bootstraps, and I understand why they think that, because essentially they got caught up in these tailwinds that, you know, came, you know, after World War II, that really pushed them from maybe what they grew up in, what was more impoverished when they were children. But there was so much momentum by the time that they were actually becoming adults and grew into adulthood economically, that no, they actually had it quite easy. They had it incredibly easy.
Yeah.
Millennials got fucked. Zoomers are turbo fucked. I do feel very bad for Zoomers. Like, I mean, look at their culture, the things that they're surrounded by. It's just a fucking nightmare. I feel so bad for Zoomers.
Well, let's face it, most of these currencies that we're dealing with here are going to collapse under their own weight soon anyway, because they were all completely devalued as currencies. You're either going to go on the gold standard or you're getting replaced with character.
I wish, but I think that the monsters, it's got too many heads. I don't even think that even with economic collapse you're going to see anything like actually extreme like that. It will hold on. It's too deeply entrenched, all of this shit. The degree to which these economic concerns are also impacting how they think about themselves and quote-unquote success, the quote-unquote success of being a man. Because you have to put that in fake quotes. What? Put it, one quote.
QED.
Oh my God. And living up to their own expectations or the expectations of their family or society, Della Volpe said. There's another layer of economic anxiety that I don't think I fully saw until now, because you don't care. Because up until you were tasked with figuring out how men feel, you never once considered it. Della? Young men's feelings of crisis are connected to their exodus from the party, Sam's research suggests. Sam's national survey found that just 27% of young men viewed the Democrat Party positively. I wonder why. You told them that you hate them, repeatedly. Well, 43% of them viewed the Republican Party favorably. That's not necessarily the right way to go with this, just they both suck. The polling sample included 23% of self-described Democrats, 28% Republicans, and 36% independents. That's a major independent skew, but they were probably targeting that. In last year's, that's crazy though, that they did have a relatively equal distribution with a skew towards the center, and they still got that low 27 percentile. Well, I would assume that's all of the self-described Democrats are happy with it, so they're just going to stay on the plantation forever. In last year's presidential election, the gender gap leapt up to 13 percentage points nationally from 9 percentage points in 2020. Democrat firm Catalyst found in its final analysis in 2024 that men's support for Kamala Harris dropped by 6 points, winning just 42% of men. I can't believe it was that high. What a bunch of soy-filled cucks. The lowest on record in recent years. I wonder why again. What was her marketing for herself? I'm brat.
I'm vagina.
I am vagina. Yeah, I'm a big roast beef
No,
sandwich.
cunts have depth.
It's very
She's
subtle.
more like a shallow wading pool. The gap became even more pronounced among 18 to 29-year-olds. Just 46% of young men voted for Harris in 2024. You already said that. What? Oh no. Of young men. What? even more pronounced. No, it's Politico. Can you read?
42%
Ella,
in general.
a woman wrote it.
No, it's
No,
42%.
Chat GPT wrote this.
Well, no,
Look,
46% of young men voted for Harris. 42% of men in general. It says more pronounced. This is more pronounced in favor of Harris at 46 versus 42 in favor.
Oh yeah, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's a woman trying to do math. What?
Oh,
Who could expect anything else? The losses tracked across every racial group. The most pronounced hemorrhaging came among Latinos and Black men.
I wonder why.
Yeah, because these cultures still value masculinity. They haven't been completely cut to the same extent that,
that blacks are pretty
white liberal men have
broken.
been.
I was going to say, I don't think
true,
black
that's
people
true.
value masculinity at fucking all.
A certain type of masculinity, a fake masculinity, if we will.
I think if they did, their marriage
that.
rates wouldn't be at like 23%.
Sure. Like I said, a certain type of masculinity, not this definition, provider, strong, machismo. Not this type, violent, gangster, criminal, that type of masculinity. Another Latino man from Vegas said that during the 2024 campaign, Harris focused on, I got Beyonce on stage with me. I got Lady Gaga on stage. I kind of felt like, what does it have to do with me? I'm just trying to move up in life. Trump's over here like, if we're able to get a surplus in our budget, then we're going to have no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. It's going to take a while to get to that point, but at least he's saying things like that. Oh, this is what I'm going to do, the Latino man added. A second Latino man from Vegas spoke admiringly of Trump and Andrew Tate, a controversial figure, blah, 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 as always loved and hated, but they're truthful, honest to what they believe in. De La Volpe, who warned Democrats ahead of 2024 elections about their weakness with young men, said, this is not a lost cohort, a lost generation, but Democrats are losing it right now. How are you going to possibly get these men back? We're going to see their brilliant ideas. Hogue said part of Sam's mission was supercharging social listening. By using terms like this, all of the men stopped listening, okay? By using terms like social listening. And progressive influencers on Discord, Twitch and other platforms in their fundraising. Oh no, they're sending in the Discord kittens. They are urging Democrat candidates to use non-traditional digital advertising, especially on YouTube, in-game digital ads, and sports and gaming podcasts.
So what they're referring to here is when Hassan, when iDubbbz was trying to recruit Cold Ones to be a lefty fucking mouthpiece.
Yes, unbelievable that happened. I mean, not unbelievable, but what a scumfuck. Continue.
What I mean is, what we need to start recruiting so we can ride the coattails of actually popular people.
Here's the problem with this entire thing. You are trying to think like women to appeal to men.
Yes.
Women in our society have no fucking idea how to appeal to men. They have no idea what the hell men want. Because they're idiots.
It's not like it's difficult, but because women.
It is if you don't fucking know anything about men and you refuse to listen to them. If you have multiple generations, look, here's the reality of men versus women. Okay, men and women are not equal. Men are better than women, and they always fucking will be. That is just a fact of reality. Men lead, women follow. No one, like, the general does not ask the fucking soldiers how they wish to be led. The same fucking reason you don't ask women their opinion on anything. Their job is to find a leader to follow. So if you're a guy, you don't fucking listen to them. You just do, and they will follow you. If they don't, fuck them. Your job is not to ask them what they want.
I don't think the military allegory is good there, but you are correct. I would say
no, it is. It absolutely is.
Shepherd and sheep, I would say, because I as a woman, but
as a Welshman,
in general, I think this is correct. Though, yeah, this is
the same thing.
This is broadly correct. Yes, I know. I was saying that it's because women should not be in positions like the military. That's why I was.
I'm just using it as an allegory. I'm not saying it's.
So anyone, and let's face it, most people who've been in the military were not properly in the fucking military.
But the reason I mention that is because women do not like being in these masculine roles, which they have been forced into. They repeatedly don't like it. They report that they don't like it. They feel afraid to say that to their friends and on polls because they know that they're supposed to like it. But they don't. The reality is that most women just want to be taken care of.
Yes, and they don't want to fucking say that.
And then they can take care of...
Why would they give up
easy
street?
I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense to me why women are afraid that makes them weak. Well, we are weaker than men.
Oh, I can
and
tell
that
you
is
why.
the incredible. Men do incredible, unbelievable things physically, mentally, psychologically, socially, in order to provide for women and children.
Yeah, they're
Women
like, listen to
aren't
them,
made
which
to
is
do
fucking
that.
a headache these days. Have you tried listening to women for more than 15 minutes?
There's
Like,
a couple.
I said this in my previous video. The reason why there is such a hostility to women is because you told men to listen, and they did. And after a while, they realized, holy shit, women are irrational, illogical fucking people who just give us a headache, and they just decided to, we will not going to bother dealing with you because you're fucking annoying. It's really that simple.
It is better to be.
Yeah.
It's better to keep one's mouth shut and to be thought a retard than to open one's mouth and remove all doubt.
I wish more people were aware of that.
There was there's a quote, I can't remember, this is like from like an early lady in like the early 1900s, and her job was something along the lines of, it's a woman's job to sit next to a man with her hat on straight and keep quiet. You do realize,
Sounds
ladies,
like it might have been Florence Nightingale. She was
Florence
Florence
Nightingale was way
Florence
more based
Nightingale
than that.
had so many choice quotes
Yeah.
about women.
Women have no
It's
just working
sympathy
all
as
the
one
fucking
woman.
day.
I think I'll say this too, is because I've often been accused of being self-hating. It's not. I do not hate
No, you're
this
self-aware.
aspect of being a woman, but I don't hate it. I don't think it makes
Also,
me like a shittier existence. It's just different from men's, and that's why women don't feel comfortable trying to do roles that don't appeal to us and that aren't designed for us. You know, or trying to force men to do things that women enjoy. You know, it's ridiculous.
It's actually very
gender
sexist, by the
roles
way, because you're
exist-
actually saying
It
the only
is-
way that
it
women can
is.
exist in society is
The
to
only
be
way
men.
that can be
men.
fulfilled is to be
Yes.
men.
Yes.
Is the essential meaning behind it. And now I think there's
Oh, wow.
I think that
I just
there is
realized the quote's
incredible
from.
things to be proud of in being a woman. What?
The
It's had
quotes-
nothing to do
the-
with doing masculine shit.
The quote about the hat,
ahead.
that's actually from Bess Truman.
About
It was
what?
Truman's wife.
Quite about what?
A woman's place in a husband.
Which-
A woman's place in public is to sit right beside her husband, be silent, and be sure her
Yeah.
hat's on straight. Wow. Okay, I
Oh,
didn't know
I'm
that
still
was
stuck on the Florence
fucking
Nightingale quote.
Truman's wife. Jesus Christ.
I,
What would, yeah,
when I threw out all Florence, I just threw her name out.
yeah. Well,
Fucking random.
she's got that great one of women. What was it?
Women
How
have no
women,
ca-
have
no
absolutely
sympathy.
No empathy. No, there's
Sympathy.
No sympathy.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such
And
a
her
great,
experience with women is as vast as Europe.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I saw it earlier today, actually, in one of
she'd
my
been all
posts.
over
Like,
it.
Jesus. Like,
Such a
Florence
good quote.
Nightingale
I've used it
was
in a video.
very, very pro-masculine.
Could you imagine having to command an entire team of women nurses during one of
Nurses,
the
yes.
worst conflicts mankind at that point
my
that mankind had
God.
ever seen?
It would makes herding cats sound like a sound like
leisurely
a fun
activity.
time. Yes. Democrats can't win these folk
Oh,
over if they're not
this-
speaking the language. They're
Oh, I like this.
speaking. Yeah.
This is a good. This is from Sam Levinson. A woman's place is in the home. Why should you go out and take away a workman's pay instead of staying at home and stealing out of her husband's jacket like a good wife?
But women would rather do that.
Yeah, of
And,
course.
there's nothing necessarily wrong with it. It's, feminism and broader powers that be have sold this lie that, again, the only way for women to be happy is to pretend to be men. No wonder the tranny shit comes into it, right?
Yeah.
It's shameful to want to be a mother and a housewife. That's seen as shameful. No, it's not. It's
No.
absolutely nothing shameful about that whatsoever. And I don't
God, you
understand
remind me
why
of a
it's...
clip of Megan
well, I
Kelly I saw
understand why.
earlier.
Oh, I know. We'll get to that. The Democrat Party is missing that we're not going to be able to message our way out of these deep problems men are facing, starting with the fact that they know the Democrat Party doesn't really like or respect them, said Ross Moles
shit.
Rocketo, a Democrat strategist who's also focused on researching men, but isn't involved in the project. It's really easy for
And that's an
Republicans to
insider.
play off
So
politics of
when he
grievance.
says they don't give a shit about men and don't like them, he's telling
He's
you the
right.
fact of the matter.
That's why he's
find
not
it really
involved in this
interesting.
project.
Read that last part. That's
You
really
probably got
funny.
kicked off it.
It's really easy for Republicans to play off the politics of grievance when you literally just said the Democratic Party doesn't like or respect them.
Yeah.
No shit. It's not a party of grievance. They could just say the
when
fucking
someone says-
reality because you just said you don't like them.
Right. They don't like. They've been saying for years
Yes.
and years how much they hate you, how you're all rapists, how you're all evil. The worst thing you can possibly be is a white man. And now they're like, where are all the white men go? It's exactly like the feminists, the aging feminist who goes, where have all the good men gone? Why are no
And
men
by
interested
the
in me
way-
now that I've hit the fucking wall?
By the way, Democrats, you need to realize this. women like strong men. Women don't like weak men, and you can't even get weak men to your fucking party. You're fucked. The more you appeal to women, the more your party is going to lose. You need men to run society. Get that through your fucking heads. And your only way of helping anyone is through the state. Do you know what men fucking hate in America? Any government. That's reality. One of the reasons they like Trump is because he said, I'll smash government. The only way you will ever get men on board is if you're going to out-Trump Trump by saying, I will break more government than you will. That's it.
Yeah.
They won't like anything else. Every other message you've had for like 50 fucking years is fuck men. Now you're up shit creek without a paddle, and you're not going to get a paddle. Ever.
Well, right. I mean, as things are collapsing, things haven't been maintained. There's all kinds of just infrastructure problems because the trains running off the rails and stuff.
Highest level of autism,
bridges.
But still, the trains can't run on time. We're fucked.
Well,
We're
because
cooked as a
they've got all
society. We have way more autists and way fewer trains working properly.
You've got all these male autists, and yet they are not incentivized. In fact, they're disincentivized. They are kept out of the fields in which they would excel, and traditionally have excelled throughout human history, keeping things.
Sorry,
running.
little buddy. You can't become an engineer. You didn't take you didn't sit through the necessary self-flagellation courses to qualify. You need to go and basically fight your way tooth and nail of academia as we hobble you at literally every single turn.
Yeah.
Because
It's amazing to me they haven't even tried to use Asian waifus to get them back. Because I guarantee that would fucking work with a fair few of them. Really?
I think they have tried. Mr. Scary the Terry for 20 says, I recently got my wife to confide in me. She now hates it when the Jews say anti-Semitism, when the darkies say anything, and when women are being insufferable. She's a second-generation islander and military brat.
She's not the good people.
It doesn't take... Here's the other thing about that, too. Being a woman who has strong opinions about things, but I ultimately, we also do just want men to tell us what to think. To a certain extent. We want to argue about it, maybe a little, but we want men to tell us what to think, too. And you can find this when...
Listen to what the shit feminists say. And
sorry, Bill, but...
Yeah, I spoke to you about this. Is that...
Let's actually figure out what mine are.
What's really curious about women is that... Because I was watching this... 150 IQ debate Andrew on the whatever podcast.
Yes,
By the way, Andrew just like fucking annihilated her because she's an idiot.
I thought about including it, but did we watch some of it?
No, and please don't make me. I'm already doing a video on it tomorrow, and it was
really
insufferable.
We debated it last week and came to that conclusion as well. It's too bad. It's too insufferable.
What is really quite bizarre to me is that her worldview is just retarded. It's not workable in any way, shape, or form. And what's strange to me is that the way that men sort of look at, and Vex was a good example of this when we discussed a separate gaming issue, is that she was able to just look at the situation and go, oh, here's information that I didn't see before, and just adopt the information like a normal man would actually. Whereas this woman, at no point, despite the fact that Andrew mauled her, and she would concede that Andrew is correct and she is not, at no point does she take aim at the university apparatus that caused her to learn all this dumb shit. Which I find quite fascinating.
It's a feminine institution. Because it's a feminized institution, so it can't be. She cannot be that she was taught wrong.
But
and I struggle with that too.
It's not only that; it's also where they defer their authority from, and the authority can never be wrong.
I haven't noticed any difference, but if you notice, I mean,
well, considering nobody else is saying anything, I'm gonna go with no.
But yeah, okay. Rambam 3000 for £5 says, Aiden, are you saying that John Norman, writer of the Gore novels, was right all along? I've never read those. Those are similar to sort of John Carter, aren't they? I don't. What was his hypothesis? His thesis statement there. That women were a mistake or something. I don't know. No. Everyone says that losing about half the audio.
No, there's just two of them. Someone just said just refresh.
Wait, it was cutting out. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll keep us posted because it might be an internet thing or might.
It's not mine. Mine's clean as a whistle.
Okay. Well, who knows? Hopefully, it will clear up, like the syphilis. I don't know. That would be more like the chlamydia. Syphilis doesn't clear up. Okay, so we need to.
Oh God, no! Why?
As the studies We have
Case
the
in point,
data.
these dumbasses exist.
I know it's impossible to imagine that the Democrat Party has lost favor with young men, but the data reveal it is in fact the case. So how do we get the young men back, particularly the young white men? They did say Hispanics and blacks because they did move towards Trump a little bit, but whatever.
But
they want
little
young
mean a
white
lot.
men back. Yeah. Yes, but obviously they care the most about young white men because they're the ones who we're checking out. The other two have far larger portions of them that are already checked out, that are fully clientele.
That and also they don't mean anything to society.
Well, that's what I mean. They don't provide anything because
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
already, on government assistance. So who do we get to bring the men back to the Democrat Party? I know, Joy Behar. There we go.
You want to know what I think? I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money on teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's
But the
it.
stats don't bear that out now that we've seen the election results.
Oh my God.
A round of applause from the problems.
I know. This is the fucking problem. It's that they just read that the Democrats they just learned that the Democrats spent $20 million on this, and I know what the problem is. It's that they're all.
Do you know what you can do? You know what you can do to win over men again is cancel this show.
It is always teetering on the verge of cancellation from my understanding of it. So yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Donald Trump performed better than the previous several Republicans with most every people group. He did better with black men, better with Latino men, better with white men and white women. Like, it's just a fact that he has tapped into something. And what I think it is,
I know what it is. It's called reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also called
That's
the
that
woman
thing that men
opposing
do.
him was retarded, who was mostly drunk half the time.
But again, it was feminine,
And who had no message other
unreality.
than a vagina.
Yes, I have a vagina and I have feelings, and you should vote for me because I'm black and a woman.
Even
That's
though
it.
I was sworn in as the first Indian American senator to California.
Well, she's
get that
Schrodinger's
gig now.
minority.
Against a woman, I'm telling you.
but I'm saying that men showed up more for him. Oh, so you think that Democrats who were with Biden in 2020 left to be with Trump because they're sexist?
I don't know the reason, but it's very
Which is
suspicious.
Yeah, right
God.
right there. She literally just said it.
It's
I
She's actually
don't
getting
know.
pushed back. That's how bad things are.
No. Well, she's the so-called resident conservative one. But she literally just said that, I don't know the reason. Bitch, if you don't know the fucking reason, then maybe you should shut the fuck up then.
Shut up.
Why the fuck
Then
are you
you-
opening your mouth if
exactly.
you literally said you don't know the fucking reason? Why are you talking then? You redheaded, demented fucking
I don't
bint.
know. Well, I mean, again,
Jesus.
it's like, I don't know, but here's my opinion. If you have, and also, why do you not know? Presumably, you've been prompted on
Fucking
this
idiot.
study, where they said what the problem is that you've alienated white men in particular, but men in general, and told them that you hate them, that being a man is the worst possible thing you can be because men are all bigots, they are violent, they're terrible, they're all sexist, like you just repeated, Joy. Oh, why aren't they voting for it? I hate these savage, sexist pigs. Vote for me. What?
Fucking tards.
Lance
By the
Flash
way-
says, as a reminder, just real
Go
quick,
on.
as a reminder, Trump made gains in all ethnic groups in 2024 election except for the Jews. Yeah, the one that he is so adamant in support of. That was the one group he did not make gains in. Yes, exactly, Lance. Go ahead, Spoon. Sorry.
No, the reason the Rogan thing won't work, like a left-wing Rogan, is quite obvious because Joe Rogan was a lefty. He
have
still
that.
is. He still is in many ways.
Yeah.
But the reason why people go from left to right is they recognize the stuff that they want doesn't work, and giving the people more power to do things that they want doesn't work either because they're hopelessly fucking corrupt. So they move to the right just by the process of my policies don't work and I would like something else because the people in power suck. You can't get a left-wing version of that because the journey towards the right is noticing that it doesn't fucking work. So you basically want Joe Rogan. You basically want an influencer that stayed Rogan while Rogan moved to the right. But you already have that. Like you have like your Brian
Well,
It's
doesn't
Joe
Cohen's. You
Because
have
he's
your
an observationalist.
yes, exactly. Your Carl Kalinskis. You basically want people you already have with a message that doesn't
they
resonate
want a
because
masculine-
reality
yes.
doesn't adhere to your stupid policies. Like you want things that doesn't make any sense in reality.
Yes, they want a masculine figure for the
That ignores
left.
reality.
And the reality that ignores reality, and the reality is that the closest thing they've got is Hassan Piker.
And also,
That's their masculine guy.
Also,
In
that
the media.
kind of the masculinity on the left doesn't exist. So you're appealing to a group of men that aren't real.
No.
So I don't know how you're gonna animate these men. Like, if you want actual masculinity, you don't go to the left, you go to the right. So I don't know what the fucking hell you're actually trying to do. It doesn't make any sense.
They're just. Well, it's as Joy said. She doesn't understand it. She doesn't
understand many things.
Well, yes. But in general, I think these women who are running many of these shows and going out and saying this shit and doing this shit, and let's be clear, it is a woman issue more than it is a political issue in terms of not being able to understand men. Because as we're going to look at here in a minute, the conservative women have no fucking idea what men want either. And to me...
No, conservative women are insufferable.
It's so crazy. When I started...
Conservative women aren't.
Well, yeah. When I started doing all this shit back in 2017, right? And came across the honey badgers, and I was so really like glad to find them, of these women who were speaking sense and talking about issues that were facing men, which I saw as a serious problem even back then in 2017, before, you know, long before we get all these mainstream headlines about, oh, we need to win men back. Why are why have we been treating men so shitty? They're leaving for some reason. I don't get it. Is that was such a strange... They were, like, exhausted, though, I could tell by the time I even started interacting with the honey badgers back in 2017, because they'd been doing it for so long. And now I've been doing it for the same amount of time, of just listening to men. And for whatever reason...
You've fucking hidden that well in this household.
Oh, Bill, come on now. What have I not listened to you over?
Sorry, what was that?
What? I've made you food, Bill. I've made you food. I gotta finish making it tomorrow.
The point where people keep asking if I'm okay.
I know, that is kind of sad. I do get those comments all the time on Twitter. It's just like, I hope you didn't kill Bill with food today. Don't worry, he can defend himself with the mace. You can fight back against the feederism with the mace.
Not just defend yourself, he can literally crush you out of existence.
He could crush my tiny skull.
So could I.
I get whinging. It's like, oh, you didn't eat it all before it went bad. Well, yeah, because it was more than my actual bodily mass, and that's really an achievement considering the size of me.
I got a kilo of pork. What was it? Is it the beef ribs? Was it?
Short rib.
Short ribs. Whole chicken, and a pound of sausage meat, and the pork.
Why
belly.
are you trying to kill Bill?
I'm not.
You're a two-person
like
household. Sorry, we are a 1 1/3 person household.
But then we give stuff away to your
Christ
family.
himself didn't throw a spread down this fucking fat. Like, imagine if at Gethsemane, Big J just threw down the whole 5,000-man fish and bread combo.
See, you can just give this type of thing to women, and they will be thrilled.
What, food?
Yeah, no, like cooking.
Please send help.
Just, give me a bunch of supplies and let me go do my adventures in the kitchen. I'll be thrilled.
I said the supplies for this were over 50 quid.
Oh shit, I didn't realize that. Fuck, never mind.
Short rib is expensive.
Okay, next time dude, they look really fucking good. Okay, sorry, let me get this other super chat. I'm gonna have to use the bathroom real quick, and then we'll move on to the next thing. It's Ardent Party for 2. Hey, Ardent, how's it going? Says, new story on my YouTube. Thanks for cheap ad space. Absolutely, everyone go check out Ardent Party, friend of the show. And then Rambam for 3, Rambam 2000 for £5 says, on Gore, women are slaves and taught to serve men. And when they realize that this is their natural state, women are happy. I mean...
Women are never bleeding happy.
Slave carries a negative connotation to it, but women are subservient to men. They rely upon men to survive, and we should be able to be happy with that, and to be what I don't see again what the problem with that is. You have an easier lot in life as a woman because you don't have to do all this shit, and you shouldn't have to. You're not designed to. And Woolgrace for 2 says, Aiden clearly needs to find a friendly village to cook for. I do need... Well, yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to do is find a friendly village to cook for. I just like cooking, it's fun. So, we have Joy Behar refusing and confusing, apparently, as to why men don't want to listen to her screech about how they suck, and that they're not interested in that. So here, this is the Democrats' answer. Olivia Juliana, a Democrat activist fighting for abortion rights. This is from June 1st. This person
Please
has
don't you
been
have the
made
video of her talking?
I do. Oh, I got a whole little segment on this very large lass. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Let me zoom in for you, and then I wish I could get rid of this side crap, but there we go. I'll be right back when you guys want to give a little introduction to our subject today, Olivia Juliana.
She's a very
AKA
large
Gorlock
one.
the Destroyer.
Yeah. Someone called her that on my chat. The Olivia Juliana the Great, the Democrat, size-wise anyway, the Democrat activist has time and time again stirred headlines with a strong stance on abortion rights, LGBTQ issues.
Same with the moon stirs the ocean.
Yeah. And other matters important to her generation. Yeah, I don't think the men in a generation give a flying fuck about any of those things. At the age of 22...
Okay, this'll win people over. Fucking tipster in a wig.
Let's see, Olivia has emerged as a youth star. At her weight, she's not going to remain one for much longer.
Like a black hole at this point.
Even joining Gen Z for Change as director of politics. Oh, God. Just on that, Juliana is known for voicing her thoughts over body shaming. Geez, I wonder why. Once describing herself as a queer, plus-size, disabled Latina.
Oh, I thought she was Chinese. Like, legit. That she's so fat it throws off my physiognomy check. It takes a lot to do that. I thought she was, like, Pacific Islander or some shit.
Yeah, the size.
I reiterate. She look. I assume she was a Pacific Islander or Hawaiian or some shit. You need to be. She is so physically fat, and her physiognomy is hidden beneath so much mass. I could not ID where she was from. I can tell wearing the Balkans or wearing like Near Eastern Europe. Something like this. I can tell the difference between a Latvian and a fucking Estonian. But I could not tell this bitch was fucking like I don't know, Dominican.
That's the thing. When people get really fat, they become genderless, sort of. Like you can't really delineate male and female. It's also
it looks like tipster in a wig.
Hard to delineate. Yeah, God.
Bill,
yeah,
remind me to go on camera once and see if you can ID my physiognomy.
You should. Well, he knows your physiognomy,
it's
though.
pretty simple.
I'm curious what Bill will think of me.
It doesn't quite work.
Well, you never know. I might be able to tell him some secrets.
It might awaken something in him.
Hopefully
I'm just looking at
him.
Looking at zooming in on that eyebrow. I'm detecting a 2% Romanian admixture.
Oh no!
I'm not a gypsy.
Let's see.
Well, no, that'd be Punjabi admixture.
Oof.
Ouch.
Whether she's advocating for abortion rights or voting rights, the 22-year-old holds a deep influence on her followers. Oh, is that what you said? Was
it's called gravity.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Read along to learn more about her. Who is the Democrat activist Olivia Juliana?
Oh my God, she's 23.
Yeah, she's real young.
What?
I know she doesn't look.
Fucking has
Jesus Christ.
She ain't even 23 stone. She's a lot more than that. She's like 30 odd stone. She looks like she's in her 40s.
Yes, which is what being morbidly obese, emphasis on the morbid part, will do to you.
Jesus.
Speaking as someone who also looked, who tends to look considerably older when I'm deathly thin, it does go both ways. Anyway, is a first-generation college student. Oh, good for her. Currently doing her major in political science at the University of Houston, Victoria. Her passion for activism took a significant leap around the 2020 election when she started taking on various political issues directly connected.
I noticed they didn't say when she started weighing in.
When she started weighing in, but tis.
Like that is. I was like, why didn't you write that? That would have been much funnier.
That is, yes. Elmonster for 2 says, I'll say this again, Aiden likes some big. I just like cooking.
No, you're chubby taste, everyone knows it.
Eto, bleh. Next was Major X Showdown in 2022, when Florida Rep Matt Gaetz made a rude comment about abortion rights activists. He made an accurate comment about abortion rights activists.
Aiden, I feel like if you saw me in person, your immediate reaction would just be to, like, feed me.
I probably would. But I do that to everybody. I do that to everyone. If it's with my cooking, yes. I like to.
We need to give you a fridge and just fill it with, I don't know, bacon or some shit.
You don't already have a bacon fridge designated?
No, I actually need to buy me a new fridge.
Oh, okay. Why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions? Nobody
We
wants
call that
to
a
impregnate
reverse
you if you look like a
column.
thumb. It's totally true, though. That's why they
That's
got so
true.
mad. Yeah, she doesn't look like a thumb. She looks like a fist. Yeah, as Bill said. In a strong response to the words Olivia, in a strong worded tweet, holy shit, News 18. This is just like the one article I could find that, but it's just like, it's an Indian outlet too, but all the outlets I could find covering this were Indian for some reason. It's come to my,
they like fat
maybe, yeah, they like the fat ones. Well, I think they just like anything with
They like
Bob
anything
Muji.
white.
Yeah. It's come to my attention that Matt Gaetz, alleged pedophile, dude, like the escalation to 1 billion there, by the way, from he called you fat and ugly, which you are, sorry, to alleged pedophile, has said it's always the odious 5'2", 350-pound women that nobody wants to impregnate who rally for abortion. I'm 5'11" and 6'4" in heels. 5-inch heels? I wear them so the small men like you are reminded of your place. This is the woman that the Democrats have hired to connect with the men so that they'll come back to the Democrat side. Who is I guess she's aping for the Dami Mommy approach. That's what she's going for.
She can't have children
I
being that
suppose?
fat.
No, you can't. The public attack worked in favor of Olivia as she claimed to have achieved major abortion fundraising goals. Great. You secured more funding for women to kill their own children. Ever since, Juliana has been unstoppable, playing a key role in mobilizing several youth movements. Funny, because she's rather immobile. With Bloomberg Media also adding her to the 50 most influential list. 50, I don't know, fattest or whatever. With millions of followers on TikTok and Instagram combined, Olivia's message has been resonating loudly, inspiring more young people to get involved.
The AIDS detective in the chat, every man is small compared to you. That's actually fucking true. Most men are significantly smaller than her.
Yeah, she's a titan of the industry. That's for sure. And she's going to tell you just how much she loves men. You could tell how much she loves men from this tweet, where
Yes.
she talks about stepping on you, essentially. Put you in your place with her 5-inch heels. So here she is.
I guarantee you those heels are screaming in fucking pain.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure she's broken more than her fair share. Dude, I don't like heels, to be fair. I don't know. I mean, I know they look nice. I know it's on. I'm muted.
There we go.
Oh, no. Here we go. Let's play it. Yeah.
Well, I also think it's just so abundantly clear that the people who say these things don't actually spend time talking to young men. You know this because we know each other.
So this is when she's come out as rebranding herself as the voice for young men in the Democrat Party, right? After
the guy
just
on the
last
right
year,
looks so fucking bored.
Well, first of all, he looks like a little kid to me.
That's because he is.
I don't know. As I get older, like anyone under the age of people
30
younger
looks
than
like
me
15.
goes up. It's just everyone looks young, progressively bored, younger and younger. You're like, oh, there's a baby on the screen. You know? Who was I? Oh, when I was in England with the meetup with Cabal, I did say something to that effect. It was like, I kind of like getting older because you get to be more of an asshole. You know? Everyone just expects it.
In real life, but I spend a lot of time on college campuses, and I spend a lot of time with
young men.
I love young men.
Why do they have to say it like that?
It's really
It
creepy.
makes her sound like a predator.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love frat guys. And
There she is with what's his face. What was that douchebag's name again? Harry Sissy, right? Yes.
in that I realized, like, even the ones that identify as conservative are almost always pro-choice. They're almost always pro-gay marriage.
What?
You'd be surprised at the number of them.
Well, this is just showing, this is her pull in her understanding of what conservative young men believe. They are pro-abortion, pro-gay marriage, abortion, gay marriage. What was the next one?
You'd be surprised at the number of them who supported Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
And so I feel like people just kind of lump them into this box when the truth is, again, a lot of them are with us on the issues.
No,
hang on, pause it. Sec. What she says? What's that? When men talk to you, They
Yes.
don't. They are suddenly
Why?
pro-abortion.
Oh.
And what was the other one?
Gay marriage.
Pro-gay
Uh,
marriage.
My dear, let me
Yeah.
just break something
Okay.
out to you.
When you're faced with this, maybe man-ass isn't so bad.
When a man looks at her, he just thinks maybe it's not gay to kiss the homies goodnight. Which it's not, by the way. It's not gay to kiss the homies goodnight.
No, I think the reason why these men agree with it is just to get to shut the fuck up and go away.
To get her to shut the fuck up. That's the real
Yeah.
answer. However,
And what's
I
this
like
on the-
Bill's avenue.
What's this on the right? This is like a mini Chris Reagan. This is like Chris Olympia. There's a
This
fucking
is
black.
Chris
Oh my
Reagan
god,
too.
yes it is.
Gen Z Chris Reagan, yeah. Chris Ray's gun with a Z. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
They're just not part of our coalition because they feel like they're not.
Look at the fucking
What, they're not-
fluoride stare.
I mean, it's insane. She did say the right thing. They feel like they're not welcome in it. Well, they're not.
They're
And
not.
we
Play it
just-
again and just watch him. Just watch his expression.
I know. Just, yeah. Absolutely. Dude, yeah, look at it.
It doesn't move. It's completely
Holy
frame
shit.
perfect.
Vaxxed? Question mark?
That is someone who is either AI generated, is a still image, or that person is legitimately like fried.
He's on Xanax or whatever, dude, probably. Most
Which I
of
was
them
on
are.
Xanax. Also, yes, Jewish
Chris
mixture. Check
Reyes.
the fuck peep the fucking lips. Jewish mixture.
I love white men, huh? Suddenly I'm gay and pro-abortion. Yeah, I mean, I get the pro-abortion element where you're coming from there, Bill. It's like, oh yeah, me too. I'm definitely pro-abortion. I would not want you reproducing.
When you're
actually
faced
is a
with
bit
someone,
gay as
this
well.
bitch is my height. She's like 6 foot tall, and about
Yeah,
twice
quite
as
a little.
wide. You're faced with this fucking Katamari Damacy, like living orb extra. This bitch built like Robotnik, looks like Tipster in a dress.
Yes, very planet test.
Bitch looks like the final boss of Suspiria.
Idle Drifter for 5 says the only man this Juliana would attract to the Democrats is Captain Ahab. Arr, she blows. Yeah.
Nah, you take one look at that thinking maybe I don't want to catch the fucking whale.
I know. Well, she's not really a white whale exactly, is she? She is a Latinx whale. Rap Bartholomew
God.
Cheesington for 2 says she should not have this ego, blame the internet. Oh, I know. It's other
Yeah.
women who do who create this. Oh, you go, girl. You're so strong and
Gassed up
powerful
mids has
and
gotten so bad
obnoxious.
that like mid
Well,
has
she's
been
not a mid.
expanded to 0 out of 10s.
Yeah. Absolute bottom of
That
the
looks like the motherfucker who plays Chuckles, the fucking space clown. If he like ate everyone else in that weird fucking D&D group that for some reason keeps showing up on my feed.
Now, you might not know this about Juliana, but she's
Keep it that
actually
way.
not only does she love men, she is also starving. Did you know
Really?
that? Could you tell by looking at her? Yeah. She,
No
Is
shit.
this who
she's
you're...
starving? Uh-huh.
But we will only be heard if we vote. As the saying goes, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
Okay.
But we will
Interesting choice of words there. And then here she says, I'm down 50 pounds because I can't afford to eat in Trump's economy.
This is who
Does
Aiden's
she look
cooking
like
for.
she's down 50 pounds? Does she look like she's down 50 pounds to you in this picture
Also,
versus now?
okay, here's my favorite thing. She's actually great to have around because she's 6 foot tall even. We can now tell who's the manlet. Biden's a fucking manlet. She
Oh, yeah,
towers
yeah.
over his ass.
Holy shit.
You can now. We now have a fucking literal measuring stick, a 2-yard stick.
She said she wears 5-inch
5'11".
heels. She's 5'11", so so what was that, 6'4"?
She ain't wearing them heels. You really think they're letting this fat bitch walk around the Oval Office in those heels? She'd go through the fucking floor surface.
Agreed.
But
You're not
yeah,
allowed to drill in America, in Biden's America, bitch.
not allowed
You
to
ain't
do
got the
that.
fucking planning permission. No oil for you.
Oh my god. If she wasn't so vile, I wouldn't be so rude to her. I don't know. Just don't be such a obnoxious bitch.
Don't be spiritually obese.
Yeah. However, look, I've not confirmed this. Ollie London posted it, but apparently she posted this photo of herself.
My god, it's a Photoshop.
She literally
wall
put it
tool.
in. She literally put it in MS Paint and squashed it.
No,
Yeah.
it's not MS Paint. No, because she's look. This is I can tell you what
My
this
everything's
is.
blurry on the edges too.
I know. Look at the bottom where it's actually like you can see where it's sucked in. 'Cause
Oh
she just
god, it's like a
bottom-
right
bottom of the
angle.
Picture.
It's like it's
Yeah.
literally like a 120-degree angle.
this
Also,
is-
she
this
still
is
has
where
4
she-
chins.
Well, yeah, you can't really get rid of that. She doesn't know how to get rid of the extra chins. Because I mean, of course, this is what there's the picture, and she posted this allegedly, according to London or whatever. You know, I'm not sure if he's accurate, but that's what I saw. Major, I'm
Oh,
gonna be
it's
surprised.
Disco doing
Major
that.
Metroid for 2 says, I don't think I want to catch this Snorlax. No.
She's so fat, she's making the stream lag.
Did she? Oh, is it? Hang on. Everything
Say
alright?
something now.
Check one. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay, so it's Discord doing that.
Oh, fun. Just every day. It's every week. It's like, what will be the new issues this time?
Yeah.
So, liberal influencer Olivia Joanna says she will be mean to any MAGA band that talks to her. This is again
Oh,
who they
that's
got
a
to attract men to the Democrat Party.
what? I'm sorry.
Why?
This is just what Christian would look
Fuck,
like
it's
if
not
he
good
had a
shit.
decent and
Oh, hang
decent
on.
pruning out doctor.
Hang on. Let's see. Is it just Discord? Can we switch the locale? No. Is this just Discord? I just got totally disconnected.
Same.
Yeah, now
Same
it's
as
fine.
well.
Oh fuck.
Can we
not
try
change
Brazil?
No,
Yeah,
it's
let's-
fine now.
What? Okay, we'll
Is
see.
he
If
not-
it,
Yeah, it
fucking
was.
hate
Yeah,
Discord.
it was Disco doing that. Yeah.
Okay. So it says, me getting ready to be as mean as possible to conservative men who talk to me crazy.
Hey,
What the fuck
no
does
one is
that
talking
mean?
to you, bitch. Here's
I don't
here's
know.
what they're saying. Fucking
God.
wide load. Take her over to the fucking next passing place. Get your ass back to a nunnery if there's one big enough.
Yeah, I don't know if she'll get through the door.
Yeah.
Dude,
Spoonie's the only one who
this is,
sounds
again,
fine. Yeah, so it was Discord.
This is the woman that they have hired to appeal to men.
Oh my
Me
god.
getting ready to
Okay,
be as mean
okay.
as possible to the
Can I
conservative
just say
men.
something just fucked up? If I'm
Huh?
if I'm going by just that picture, and you make it a little bit wide, that's Scott Pressler if he was fat.
What?
That's Scott Pressler if he was fat.
Oh, yeah. Alright, dude.
No
Discord's
offense,
fucked.
Scott.
I keep...
She looks like John Romero let himself go.
So
Little bit.
here's another clip that went...
Oh yeah,
of
that's the
making
one that I had in
rounds.
my video.
Also, nice soft
Yeah.
focus, bitch.
Right. She figured out how to use a camera at some point. How do you like?
looks
But
like Christian.
lady, there is only so much that filters can do for you when you've got this thing on the bottom of your face. You know what I mean?
I'm the person that's in charge of bringing young men back to the Democratic Party.
Why?
To
Young men who you hate, who you've made it pretty fucking clear that you hate, from your own words. You're gonna dominate with your massive high heels and massive corpulent form.
Donald Trump Jr., Trump War Room, Libs of TikTok. And while none of that's actually true, every single time I saw
She's
one
going to be
girl
starring in the
posting
next
about
Jurassic
me,
Park film.
I
To be the
had-
first person to be, the T-Rex will make his way through her and then take 3/4 of her home in tinfoil.
But yeah.
one main thought at the top of my head. Y'all are a bunch of
You need to lose weight.
y'all are the one.
Y'all are a bunch of pussies. Everyone, you seem to be the one crying here. That people are making fun of you, and if Ollie London's
Well, I'll say-
you did Photoshop yourself like that, it seems like you're not
I'll
very
I'll
confident. Go
interject.
queen. Yes.
I'll interject here. This is a broken clock right twice a day situation. There's a
Well,
lot of
maybe,
bitch.
yeah.
There's a lot of bitch-made behavior kicking around.
Sure, Ollie London is probably would I'm sure call himself a pussy considering.
Ones that made
I mean, I don't think he ended up getting one, but I think it got close there.
it about a woman and her identity and the way that she looks. Something that y'all consistently
Dude, this sanctimonious preaching way of speaking does not appeal to men. It doesn't appeal to anyone.
She also doesn't understand
the
why they're
Democrat.
making fun of her.
No, I guess not. They're not making fun of you just because you're fat. It's because you are the designated voice for men. That
And
you are who
also-
the Democrats have put up in this position.
Yeah,
and that
it's-
you wanted,
it's-
apparently.
Yeah, I said this in my video yesterday, is they're not even really making fun of her. They're really making fun of the Democratic Party
Democrats,
through her.
yes.
Yeah, because you're just like an avatar of everything they do that's wrong.
Yes, it's
And if you're-
very much
if you're
the
meant to be
hello
talking to these
greetings,
people-
fellow
Yes.
kids.
You're gonna have to fucking grow thicker skin. You're gonna have to have some repartee with these people. You are not fit for the task. You're not fit for fuck all. Hurry up and go.
I
Excited.
don't. I think it's kind of weird to tell a woman.
Guys?
It's kind of weird to tell a woman who's like pushing 300 pounds grow thicker skin. I feel like she would
She's
consider
a
that
lot.
taking the piss
She's a
out
lot.
of it.
She's
she-
the fucking. She's north of 300. Fuck me.
She said she 365.
She's 300 too.
Yeah, she said she's 365.
Got all the Athenians in
Completely
there.
spherical, complete sphere. But it's also that you don't
That's
obviously
like that
know who you're
70s show
talking
with
to
Mila
whatsoever.
Kunis and the blueberry
She says she loves frat guys. She said that in that first clip. I love frat guys. But you're being
Well, more
mean
than
to
one at a
me.
time, clearly.
Have you ever? What do you mean? How can
Yeah, it
you
takes a
love
team to
frat
move her.
guys and can't
Yeah,
take a
there you go.
fucking joke? Right? Yeah, I guess so. That's why. Well, I mean, look, a woman like this though, she's not getting fucked by the frat. She wants to be. That's why she loves frat guys. She's hoping for a pity fuck.
Do.
This is why she probably volunteered for this gig.
Yeah, yeah.
She was hoping some fucking simp would,
Instead, a
would
lot of
fucking
you
rear
wanna
his
talk-
ugly head.
She was hoping for the type of male attention for her, the way that Harry Sisson got female attention. I guarantee it.
Talk about my weight. You're using pictures of me from about 65 pounds ago. So let me ask.
Bitch, you need
You
to
look
lose like
fatter to me
another
in this.
180 pounds.
Bitch, you're not gonna get me too. You're fucking 23 and me.
I mean, I don't understand. Like, we
We're
looked
46
at earlier
and
pictures of her. She looks fatter. I mean, I don't know. To me,
Yeah,
she
she
looks
looks significantly
fatter
fatter.
here than she did in a lot of the previous photos of her. Women, of course, notoriously lie about their weight. So, honey, I don't believe you. I don't think you're down 60 pounds.
You've seen Rosie O'Donnell, now see
up
Rosie
a little
McDonald.
bit. Yeah, there you go.
Ask you this. If I lose another 65 pounds,
You didn't lose 65
will y'all
pounds.
actually raise young men's wages?
I love
that's.
she has to put this shit in here.
By the way, I don't know if you've
Like
noticed
she
this, but
cares.
the government can't actually do that.
States regulate minimum wages.
And Democrats have done more to destroy like wage levels than anyone else.
Yes,
And
but,
just, like, completely-
that also shows a
behind it.
fundamental lack of how economics work. Like, if you raise their wages artificially, you're not increasing the value of the fucking labor.
Oh, yes. Well, of
She's
course.
just laughing
and,
as a
and then
syndicalist.
and of course, it raises the prices of goods in reaction to market
Yes.
pressures. Yes. So that just more money printer go burr. This is a child's understanding of economics. Read Thomas Sowell.
Will you actually increase funding to mental health services? Or
Notice she says funding to mental health services. She doesn't specify
State,
men's
state,
mental health
state.
services. It's also, yes, it is also state. But the
Yes.
thing is, for example, there are only a handful, and I mean count on one hand, the number of shelters for men who are victims of abuse, for men who are homeless, etc.
Fewer by the minute
There are-
because of retards like this who run them out of business or run them off the fucking scene.
Yes.
There have been multiple people who've tried to set up men's shelters and been driven to suicide by these precise people.
Yes, because people like her spend all their time being like, no, you have to let the women in. And then once the women are in these kinds of places that are designed for men, then they kick the men out. Because, well, we can't have men in a women's space that was previously a men's space. It happens every fucking time.
are you just going to find another way to deflect from the fact that y'all don't actually have any policy plan to help them?
Yeah.
They do. Their policy plan is fuck off government.
Well, and how about let's not play these stupid fucking games with the Democrats who have done nothing for men, who openly shit on them constantly.
I like the way that
I mean,
it's suddenly the lack of policy prescription is the reason. Like, no, it's just that you
This
don't
is
have
what they
any
always
good
go to.
policies.
Well, that's what they always go to is policy. The reality is that it's really not even the policy shit is mostly nonsense. They go to that because they want things done in the legislature. But we're talking about the cultural issues here. That can't be so easily legislated away. This is a cultural.
The reality
normative
is
stuff that
men
you're
don't want to
talking about.
listen to women when it comes to politics.
And that too. Well, yes, of course, that as well.
Yes.
Unless you've got something at least somewhat interesting to say instead of whatever the fuck this dribble is.
Yeah, I bet you're not Andrew
How
Wilson.
can keep
Well, and again, saying things to men that they are well aware are facing them as issues, as if they don't know. And if young men are going to find
That makes you come
any
across as
solutions to these
patronizing.
problems, I don't think it's in the Republican Party either, by the way, but it's certainly not with the Democrats.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
Making this into some kind of big joke of, oh yeah, let's send her to every frat house in the country. I'm not afraid to go into frat houses or to go to college campuses or to talk to
because you're a bigger
because,
weight
oh my
class
God,
than all of them.
Yeah, that's the only reason you're not afraid is because you're enormous. Like,
What's going to happen? You'll roll
can't
over the
take you
building,
over.
it'll be added to the orb, and then eventually the King of all cosmos will fling you out to become a star.
And also, no men want to be around you. That's maybe why.
That's it too. Yeah, that's why you're not afraid of men at frat parties, because you are under
'Cause they
no
won't approach
fear
you.
of being violated. Because you're huge, both in terms of size, height-wise, and width.
And you're loud as fuck.
And you're loud and obnoxious. Yes, no men want to be anywhere near you, sexually or politically or otherwise.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think that they're all shallow assholes. I think that they're actual people.
Well, I think you're a shallow asshole because you photoshopped that picture of yourself. So it clearly bothers you. That's why people were doing it. Again, it's not so much you, it's you being a representative of the Democrats, which you chose to take on.
Then, if you stuck your neck out, do not be surprised when you get it cut.
Women take responsibility challenge level impossible. Uncle War Crimes for 10 says, the only men this land whale is talking to are black men. Most fucking likely. I don't even know if black guys would give it to her, to be honest. Wolverine for 2 says, giantism is a winning strategy to deter predators. Yeah. Gigantism.
True,
yes.
though.
Normally you have to be in the deep sea to look like this.
Yeah.
Also, it's usually
Extreme
fat
pressures.
white women. This is a Mexican.
Oh, there's a lot of
And
them
disabled.
about. Oh, is she? What's she?
Like I said, Mexican.
Who can hold a conversation. But clearly, based off the way you talk about them and the way that you treat them, you think that they're dumb as shit. Well, I actually don't. So I'm gonna.
No, but that you are doing this and
I can
thinks
guarantee
anyone
you.
believes it means you think they're dumb.
I can make her scream or cry in under 3 minutes.
Oh, clearly.
You might want to rephrase that.
Yeah, but you might. Yeah, the way you phrase that, because might be into it now. You know.
I'm not going to like physically abuse, only mentally.
No. Oh, well, she might like a little of the physical stuff. Like, you know, a little physical abuse. She wants you to make her scream, is what we're objecting to her, Spoon. Is your that verbiage.
I mean, enraged, not sexual, you perverts. What the fuck's wrong with you people?
Sure.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to bail you out here. You might want to rethink
Yeah.
your phraseology.
We were trying
No,
to.
that's just what you people think is you're a bunch of perverts.
Okay. Chat. Did anyone else?
The chat's pervert
Yes,
as well.
phrasing.
Fuck
Well,
off.
hard be it from me
Phrasing.
to
I
be
don't
protective of my homie when he says
phrasing.
questionable phrases.
Look, he was
No,
just
no, you
looking
should
out
mark
for the
everybody
numbers.
else
He
as
didn't
being
even try to kiss you
perverted.
goodnight.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Continue to advocate for young men to get the policy agenda that they do deserve.
What are you talking about? We're talking about the issues
Good
facing young men. I have been talking about this shit, like I said, for the last fucking 10 years. What do you mean higher earning jobs by raising the minimum wage? That doesn't
See, look, at least the
fix
chats
anything.
admit they're a bunch of perverts.
Let's talk about things like divorce court and child custody. These are
Spoon
the
is a
issues
man of
facing
virtue.
men. The fact
Not
that men
really.
can't afford a house. The fact that they're, and in large part because the job market is flooded with pointless jobs created for women to sit around and gossip in. Which makes it so men can't support families on their own. Men and women in the U.S. can't buy a house, for fuck's sake.
Let's be
No
real.
one can.
She was sent out to do this job to distract from the actual issues. Because everyone is looking at her and just thinking of that scene in Beyblade where fucking Moses parts
sent
the
her out
Red
to
Sea with a
die.
Beyblade.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this bitch thinking, he's going to need a bigger fucking dreidel.
Yeah, they sent her out here to fucking die. I think there's no
You're going to
way
need a bigger boat.
they're this... Like, are they actually this
The
out of
point is
touch?
to make it all about her being fuck ugly, so you don't actually have to discuss
can
the
cry.
matters affecting
Yes.
men. It's pure fucking distraction. This is a
You're always trying to
distraction
help
con
men.
effects of a bitch, is
Of
what
course,
it is.
Of course.
I have a theory.
Send Shamu back to the depths.
What is it, Spoon? What is your theory?
If you just look at basically any animal when cornered, they tend to act irrationally because they're basically near the end of
Yeah.
death. So they're throwing caution to the wind. If you look at what the Democratic Party's been doing for like the last 8 years, it's basically that.
Look at this bitch and thinking, I see a big fucking corner.
There's so many big policy blunders, but it might be what Bill's sort of alluding to there, is that they can now say, look, we tried to help young men. We tried to reach out to them, but men are so terrible. It looks like we'll just have to double down on all of our shit. But the reality is, as I said at the beginning, they actually do need men desperately. They desperately need men to be activated again. And when they start a war, which is what's going to happen soon, that we are headed towards war economy shit. I think
but the middle management don't know that. They don't actually figure that out. The middle management, who are the ones calling all the fucking shots, are comprised of people like this, blithering, paint-drinking retards who will happily cut their own throat and bleed out if it means getting a single fucking dub in their own fucking minds.
Yep. Yeah, true.
They will be it's all a big fucking farce. It's the you're begging for medical help, and the doctor they send is the deaf, the dumb, and the blind.
Yep.
But then they say, "Oh, that'll do."
No, the three
what more do you want?
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
You're entitled for asking more, for asking for anything other than something designed to deal with complacency.
A friend of mine has asked that we get her off the screen. It's offending her.
1 second. Was this that you
just
posted?
I start to say she can't be kosher looking like that.
This men's corner video.
Hang on, I'm on drink duty again.
Yeah, sorry. Spoon, what is this clip that you sent me?
Oh yeah, I just want the chat to play. I want to hear what the chat thinks.
Okay, let's finish this up real quick. There's only like a couple seconds left of her
yawning,
fat rambling,
flabbering.
Yeah, flabbering.
And I'm gonna continue to lose weight, and then maybe when I finally do drop that next 65 pounds, we can revisit this conversation and see if you can actually stand on business. Because this time, none of you fucking did.
Yeah.
No, they always stand on business.
1 second. Bill was asking me something. 1 sec.
El Monster, I stand by those comments, by the way. Yay, curry.
Curry?
Yeah, it was...
Okay, so this is what you just sent me. What is this?
Yeah.
Good news, boys. After hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, we have progress.
I mean, crazy, but I think that men actually mean what they say. Like, no hidden message, no secret meaning. No,
I know,
no
unbelievable.
code to crack. Just yes, no, up, down. 9 times out of 10, I interpret it way differently. He says I'm tired. What I hear is tired of me, of this relationship, of life. Maybe I'm too much. Is he gonna leave? Like, should I back off? But the reality is, he just yawned. He says, oh, I didn't notice. He doesn't pay attention, doesn't care. He didn't notice the thing I changed. Clearly, he doesn't value me. He really actually didn't even notice. His brain didn't register it. He says, I'm not hungry. He doesn't like my cooking. He's mad.
But this is like female egocentrism and just all summarized. And look, I fall into it too. It's impossible
Catastrophized
not to.
solipsism.
The brain, it has to be an evolutionary development. Yeah, for real. Like it there has to
You
be
know
some
what's
reason why
curious?
women
You know
would
what's
like
curious
this.
about this? And someone in the chat also pointed it out. Everything she hears is to do with her.
Yes.
That
Every single thing is about her. It can't have anything to do with him even being tired or something,
Yes.
for example. Yeah.
Alexander, God, I wish I was gay. I feel like it might actually be a shitload easier. Up until you see the domestic abuse rates, and then you realize it's not.
Yeah.
Dad, he ate somewhere else. He must be hiding
Yeah,
something.
but
Why
he's
isn't he
so
hungry?
funny.
What did I do? Actually, it's because he had 2 burritos from the gas station at 4 p.m. They say it's blue. We're like, but what does that mean? Is it sad? Is it deep? Is it about me? No, it's just blue.
Goddamn.
I like the way that women tried to make everything complex, and then honestly, like, why are men so difficult to understand? It's like, no, we're actually very easy. You try to color things with lines that aren't fucking there.
Yeah.
She
Men
looks
are
like she's just been
unbelievably
caught in a.
fucking easy to understand.
She looks like she has the look on her face like when you watch an old World War I film and someone is talking to someone else and then one of them gets direct hit with a mortar and the other person's just there unscathed but completely like psychologically obliterated. But that's what I look like. I'm watching a fucking walking wounded. That's how much this destroyed her psyche. That she was not the center of the conversation, and she never was.
However, again, it does kind of make sense if you look at evolutionary psychology, why women would be like this. Because they're trying to make sure that they survive. So they're looking out for danger. They're at all times.
Okay, no.
everyone
I
is,
completely reject this, because if you are like this with a man constantly, he's gonna kick the shit out of you because you're fucking annoying. It's gonna make you not survive.
Okay, yes, to this degree. But why does it exist at all in the first place? It's like, well, I want to make sure that he doesn't abandon me, so then I don't have resources and I won't be able to survive. I want to make sure he's not angry at me.
Oh my god, just do all the other things.
But
just, make sure his stomach is full and his balls are not. That's it. It's not fucking hard to
The
please a
whole
man.
point. These are methods to survive other women. Not men.
That makes way more
this
sense.
is how can I navigate the fucking social minefield and make sure I don't get exiled by the other whores?
By the other host, yes.
I feel like if this was said by a man when trying to understand women, it would make a hell of a lot more sense.
Well, yeah, because women, that's the thing, because the way she's describing it is how women often behave, particularly with communication. It's that things are hidden under a million different, metaphors or secret ways of communicating meaning, and then...
Where do women learn socialization? Other women.
Other women.
When all you have is a hammer, everything's a nail.
Yep. Yeah, because it is interesting. She is trying to apply female communication patterns to men, and realize that, oh my god, like, men are just not women. Like, yeah, no shit.
Women like to paint themselves as the social butterflies of the species, but really they're not. They're just completely socially maladapted to the point where they can only survive amongst their own. That's why every woman is a little bit gay. No, little women are. Every woman is been browbeaten and psychologically tortured into only associating with other women.
Yes.
Was keeping women in the house actually defending them from other women? Asks
yes.
Probably.
Yes. I also think that's the reason why why you had arranged marriage, is because if men are subjected to a lot of women, after a while they realize, oh my good god, these women are only useful for fucking because when they talk, I'm being driven insane.
Cold War Mech for 2 says, I present to you the 3 Gorgers Dam. Yes, that is the Oliviana, Juliana, or whatever her name is. Oh, yes, I did. Jabba the Hutt, yes.
Yeah, the Jabba memes there were plenty of those.
Yes, of course. El Monster for 5 says, Spoon's phrasing is getting worse than him saying, I can handle the spice because my butthole is strong. Did you say that?
That's something I said on the Rumble stream, yeah.
Oh my
I stand by that. Because so many people, when they eat curry, they say, like, well, their ass is on fire. And I'm like, well, my ass can handle, like, most curries, and I don't have that fucking problem. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Oh my god, I can't...
Anyone else just do a bit of a Jim from the office looking at the camera? I just do.
Yeah, just the Jim moment. Just,
I stand by that. I like my curries.
Oh, Tobias, you old blowhard.
Blowhard, So,
that would only bother a gay guy. I'm not gay, so who gives a shit? Fuck it.
I think this woman had some kind of weird interaction with Destiny or something, but so.
Oh god, that explains a lot.
I don't remember. I've seen her.
Is that why she looks like kind of fucked up?
I don't remember. I think she had some interaction with Destiny, and people were all saying she was insane and she's a child abuser and stuff. Okay, starting to come back to me.
She looks like an anime character.
I'm not vouching for this woman. However, she has uncovered some things about.
Been conditioned by the spice.
that are a bit interesting.
That's pretty good.
That I think are extremely predictable. It is exactly what you expect. But here you go.
That I exposed Harry Sisson.
So just
and Chris.
I'm just apologizing for Sarah Fields being Sarah Fields preemptively.
Lowry and several other people. Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because it's time to expose Olivia Juliana.
And every time there was a presidential election or a presidential debate, we
she looks
were
like a
rooting
guy.
for the Republican. All the way up to 2016 when we were rooting for Donald Trump. And yeah, I say we, including my 14-year-old self. Now, I never liked him, but again, conservative Republican household, I thought Hillary Clinton was evil.
Oh, you are in so much trouble. It is so interesting to
because
me
she is.
that you chose to use the age of 14.
She is what? In trouble?
No. Hillary is evil.
Well, yes, Hillary is evil.
Yeah, but she's objectively Satan.
Yes, but the problem is that she just made a statement of fact that, her family were deeply conservative, and so that's why she was confused into thinking Hillary Clinton is evil. I mean,
No, you were around your
evil.
family, and you were a normal, rational fucking woman because you listened to your damn family.
Well,
then you left your family, and then you have a new set of authority figures called the university, and you adopted it like every other fucking woman in a new vision of authority.
Spoon, I want you to repeat back to yourself what you just said. You said rational woman. I want you to take a step back because that's a threshold moment of fucking like.
I mean, rational in the sense that she's around an authority thing, and she acted like
she's round, all right.
No. Okay, no. Okay, let me explain what I mean by this. Okay, when I say rational, I don't mean that she is. I'm saying that in an environment where there's an authority figure, it is rational for a woman to obey the authority figure.
Yes.
In that sense.
Now that's rational
behavior.
That is a very good guess. That is a very good guess, Spoon. That actually is not it. That's not what happened.
Really?
Let's continue. It is a good guess. I probably would have guessed that as well, but here's what actually happened, or the reality of the situation.
And if you haven't watched that video yet, please go watch it, because she repeats the lie that her family has always been Republican, that her dad voted for Ted Cruz in, I think, 2018, I think is what she said. She repeats the lie that they were always conservative. And she brought up being 14 years of age. Oh my gosh, wait for it. She brings up being 14 and rooting for Trump. Baby girl.
Uh-oh.
Because I'm not Trump. Vote Olivia. You don't share your last name, so I did redact.
I guess at this point, this was from last year that this came out. Or I think it's being reposted now, but this was last year she made this. Yeah.
She looks like the villain. She looks like the villain from fucking Saw.
Oh God. It looks like what's his name?
She looks like the fucking Saw mascot.
Yeah, with the big round cheeks. But because I'm not Trump, that's why you should votar Olivia como presidente del Consejo Estudiantil. Is that right? I don't know. I think that's spelled
Student
right.
Council.
Out of respect for you. But this was on May 10th, 2016, where your father posted on social media, "That's my girl."
Yeah, interested.
That's right. I have you dead to rights.
This woman, though.
Not only that, but
leave it to women to bring down the tone.
Says, go off.
I'll say this is a very lukewarm gotcha.
I mean, that's why I just want to put that out there. I mean, she goes on for several more minutes, which aren't worth watching. But there you go. So, like, she's lying about everything. Why would she not be lying about this? Of course, she is lying.
Well, she's a woman and a mouse moving. We knew that was a fucking lie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lance for 10 says my father was real quick. Lance for 10 says my father was married at 22 as an apartment renting cashiers. I'm 33 years old. I'm a 33-year-old homeowner and store manager, and I've been single for a decade. Women are the problem. Women are certainly a big part of the problem. Yes, they're not the only one, but women and women's behaviors certainly are a problem. Sorry, Spoon. Go continue.
This is something that I fucking detest that the right does constantly, which is trying to shame the left by saying, look, they don't adhere to our values. I'm like, motherfucker, they don't give a flying fuck about your values. Like, trying to shame them to your own audience doesn't fucking do anything.
What? I don't think Sarah Fields is
It's fucking annoying as hell when they do that. I'm like, it's wasted fucking energy.
I mean, it's just the only reason to put that in there is really just because she is a liar.
Look, it's Natalie Portman on Fox News.
But who's surprised that the ham planet's a liar? Nobody.
The ham planet.
Well, yeah.
That's pretty
so
good.
This is and here you have the opposite side of the aisle.
It was just so fucking
Tommy Loren, is out here whining about men not stepping up enough, essentially. So the conservatives are taking the opposite strategy, apparently.
It's a major problem. And, you know, Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to...
Yes, we do.
Sons. Holy shit. Men are so fucking downtrodden, particularly white men, have so few opportunities. Everything that you have gotten in life, Tommy, sincerely...
Is because of white men.
Is because you're a white woman.
Yes.
The woman part being more key there. The white part may have hurt you a little bit, but only a little. You've gotten where you are, and I recognize this about myself. I know there's a lot of people who have much smaller channels and influence than I do, who also talk about, social science stuff. But it's certainly helped me to a certain degree.
Apparently, if you look at her history, she's
been
been like a massive slut as well.
I have heard that, but
yeah,
that's just like I don't know that for a fact, but it's what
certainly
what I've heard is, and that tends to be the case. What I've heard about many conservative women, particularly in journalistic positions, is that they tend to be a bit loose, shall we say.
Yeah.
Gen Z to rebrand
we're going to see that in a minute,
and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. They did much the same thing with quiet quitting, where you can go to work and do less, and if you call it quiet quitting, it's somehow better. But Laura, I got to tell you, this is also
I don't blame young men for not wanting to work. Work for what? Work to rent a house that they'll never be able to own? Work to impress women who demand that they make $100,000 a year and drive a Porsche?
Work for your boss who actively hates you.
Yeah. What? Why? I
you
mean,
wanted people at the top asked for drones. They got them.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised when the drone fucks off.
Yeah. Why would you work? What incentivizes you? Why should you work hard if it is not within your grasp to get what women, in particular, are demanding of you?
When it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children, that's
they can't afford it.
They blame it on women.
Well, they should blame it on women. Women are the ones who hold the keys to all of this shit, by the way, in terms of marriage and children. Women are the decision makers in that, Tommy. Why is it men's fault?
They are the gatekeepers to genealogy.
Jesus Christ.
And also,
look at what young women.
No, hold on, let it cook.
Okay.
Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But
there they don't know it. They have convinced themselves otherwise. But they do. And they get to be my age and start to go like, ree over it, right? It's inevitable. It's your biological programming. You can't beat it. So, it's slim pickings on the men. Holy shit.
Yeah. Hey, look, there's a feminization problem. Women most affected. It's like, Jesus fucking
every fucking time. Women create problem. Women most affected by problem created by women. Wow, thanks, Tommy.
Yeah.
Great.
There are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash, and therein lies a big part of the problem.
So why is it okay for you to want that? Because that's what you're asking, right? In a sense, you are asking, you want a man to take care of you. You won't admit to it or put it in those words because that would be weak or whatever, even though all women do want that to greater or less degrees.
Hilarious?
Huh?
This woman is married to a baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
So you are married to money.
Yep.
Right?
Money and good looks, presumably, is in good shape.
And,
let's tie it into the first fucking story about just what we want from white folk. Like, this is the same shit. They want another client. They want someone to look after them, to actually have to go out and participate in the nightmare scenario society they have corroded the West into being. So go out and work on my behalf.
Something else to point out, the other two people that have spoken about is Laura Ingraham over there, and Megyn Kelly said that it's also bad that a bunch of conservative men have said to conservative women, we don't want working women. Like, we're not interested in that. And her immediate reaction was, how does this affect us? And I'm looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, between Laura Ingraham, this one, and Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly is 54. She's had 3 children, all thanks to IVF. The youngest she had at 39. Tommy Lahren is 32, no fucking children. Laura Ingraham, 61, 3 children, all adopted. None of these 3 fucking women have ever produced any children of their own. Except for Megyn, but she had to do it with fucking IVF, which costs at least $15,000 per kid. So that's $45,000 for the 3. How many people can afford that? Not many. Maybe it's because you spend your entire fucking career looking after that shit and you decided way too fucking late. And now you want other women to do that exact same fucking thing, which is not exactly fucking healthy. This is the reason why
because we're more prone towards groupthink, it is not so much men are very opposite minded in that men want to give big ups to their bros. They want to give positive to support to other men so that they can all do better as a result, right? It's let's become better, on our own independently. But if your bro asks for help, you're there for them. And competing is part of that. Women want to drag other women down to their level. Finding the low, it's like, well, I'm not going to improve, so let me make sure that everyone in my friend group is in the exact same sad state that I am. And you can see this in social networks, which is across genders, which is that, like, for example, in a lot of the early studies of social networks before internet social networks were even a thing, we found out that if you have a friend who is fat, you are way more likely to become fat in the next 5 years, right? And it's because of the normalizing of shit. And women in particular work this way, whereas they will drag other women around them down to the same level so that, because, it's not about improving herself, it's about everyone being equal. Right? Whereas men try to improve themselves. This is the difference. Or a major difference between the sexes. Eldritch Saga for 5 says, if you have time, you should watch Homath's video, Are Women Entitled or Men Weak? They discuss relationship styles and strategies to improve in one. Yeah, I think I have seen that video. I've watched a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, he's a good person to follow on Twitter.
He is. And he's been posting some sad but very real stuff on Twitter, too. And
yeah, I've had a bunch of people go over him, but just like, oh, look, it's sad. Like, no, that's just real. It's sad because women think it's sad, but to men it's just like, this is reality.
But it is the reality. Yeah, people are going, oh, don't listen to him, he's pathetic, he's a loser. No, it actually takes a lot of strength to be able to say the reality of that shit, to be honest about it. Because what did he say specifically that people were judging him for? Is that he didn't get any chance of having a family. Yeah, that it's too late for him. Which, unfortunately, may be the case.
Yeah.
Men
will literally bully each other into proving themselves. Yeah, women bully each other to stay the fucking same.
Well, women bully each other to be worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crabs in a bucket.
Yes. Elmonster 2 says, did the red pill and feminism ruin both genders? Feminism has done horrific things to society. On very deep levels. It's communism for women, essentially. Like communism light.
Yeah.
And that appeals to women.
Feminism is Marxism and drag. This is such a fucking accurate post.
This tweet is so on point. You want to go ahead and read it? Yeah.
It's a young man in the red corner. You have a nagging, sagging, childless wine aunt in training. That's fucking dead on accurate describing Tommy Laren, who wants to berate you for your social ills while showing no self-awareness. I wish we could find the clip of where Andrew Wilson talks to her.
Oh yeah, that was savage.
By the way, Andrew fucking absolutely annihilates the shit out of her. Actually, let me see if I can. Oh, fuck! I hit myself in the boxes then.
Don't
ask.
That.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Ow.
Pretty well done it.
You're right. All right. In the blue corner, you have a belligerent, ball-busting behemoth who wants and shows the same. Yep. Berate you for your social ills while showing no self-awareness. Absolutely. Two sides of the coin. Absolutely.
Shut up.
Whoop.
No, not you.
So I'm gonna move on.
Video came on.
I know. I heard it. I heard the little background stuff. So, woke status put away. To celebrate this segment, I've got the classic Sam Hyde clip.
Ripped off the map. Bye! 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 Not my choice. It's probably what's gonna happen.
He did proceed that by saying, Israel wiped off the map, bye, not my choice.
We're just gonna kill him. Fold itself into a human swastika.
So, here's Target replaced their Pride Month aisle with USA Pride, the vibe shift is real. So here we have Target last year, and Target this year. Allegedly, it's a Target. And now, I've seen tons of these pictures and stuff all over Twitter, that there are no Pride displays this year, or if they are very scaled back and muted. And yes, woke away. And wokeness, you got what you want. Congratulations. However, like this one's hilarious. So, lesbian says she doesn't want to be gay anymore after Walmart released its new Pride Month shirts, including a Homo Estas shirt. So all of a sudden, being gay isn't so cool.
Oh, that's when we need more straight
anymore.
black women, yeah.
Are really making me not even want to be gay no more.
To be fair, it's extremely gay.
we could just go ahead and skip Pride Month because, not even gonna lie to y'all.
But isn't that it? It's telling. It's just about aesthetics. It's about is it cool?
I was
or not,
literally about to
right?
say the same thing. Yeah, it's just.
Yep.
It's an aesthetic thing.
They normalized
You're not
it
sexuality,
to the
you're a
point
marketing
where it became
gimmick.
cringe.
Oh,
yes.
That's a good fucking point.
Yes.
It seems
So
like
in terms
gimmicks
of
as they
bye-bye,
pass.
oh look, the thing we had been saying when when the Olympics happened, Emain Khalif or whatever their name is, right? Yes. 5 times more testosterone than expected. Female fighter Emain Khalif's medical tests leaked report. Wowie. I'm only gonna cover this for a second. Who cares? Look, the person is biologically male. Huh?
We have the birth of a new lol cow.
Emain Khalif?
No, not that one. Well, I just linked you.
Who? Oh. What is this? Okay.
I sure love how X
Look,
isn't
okay,
in bed anymore.
whatever. This
Oh,
one
it's
doesn't
Dave
really matter.
Portnoy. The only reason I know who the fuck Dave Portnoy is because he was mentioned in brief in Dracula Flow. Otherwise, I wouldn't know who this retard even is.
Doesn't he review pizzas? Anywho,
yes.
So, we were right. We're now, because along with the woke stuff, that means the trans stuff, which means, oh yeah, this person who competed in the Women's Olympics, or as a woman in the Olympics, is a man with 5 times the testosterone expected. Yeah, we got it.
No shit.
We all knew. Very cool. Thanks for telling us now. We already knew.
This is quite funny.
I hate that shit. Where once something becomes accepted, you just be like, yeah, we always knew, right? Right? Get over it. Move on to the next topic, which is what we're doing.
If you just want me to kick him out, not mention it, not care that this kid
Not at
is
all.
anti-Semitic,
Not at all.
shut
Not at all.
up. If you just want me to ignore it.
Don't tell me to shut up. Don't tell me.
Shut the fuck up, you bald fuck.
Okay, go ahead.
How's that?
Oh, it's kill. I'll never recover from that, Dave. Go ahead, continue. I'll never recover.
Well, you're the one who big boss man.
diet
I'll
rackets.
tell you, you work for me.
What is this? Dave Portnoy erupts in furious outbursts, shouting how many motherfucking Jews had to be killed before you stop after berating and threatening to fire an employee who said people should be able to make Jew jokes. Wow, what a soy-filled cut.
He
Go
got
ahead,
triggered
bitch.
by
You work for
a bunch of. So he was outside reviewing a pizza, and there was like a bunch of young guys behind him, and it sounded like a black guy just drove past and went just saying like "fuck the Jews," like just like drive by just yelling.
Blasting
Yeah,
HH.
yeah, exactly right. And the young guys behind him just started laughing because it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
What expertise is this cocksucker got to review pizzas anyways? Or because his granddad reviewed an oven once.
Oof.
God damn, Bill.
God. Holy shit. Back to this.
0 out of 10.
For me.
Sure, you bet. For now.
Oh, you
Continue.
don't?
Delivery unfulfuled.
For now, quit. I don't
Well,
care. I'll
is
take 500 grand.
this show or not a show? Like, is a show or not a show? Like, we can't have a conversation?
You're an idiot.
Okay, continue.
You're literally saying people should be allowed to make Jew jokes, say whatever they want right fucking now. That's
Yes,
what
I
you're
think people
saying.
should be allowed to make jokes.
So how many motherfucking Jews have to be killed before you stop?
Oh my god.
What
a fucking
by the way,
loser.
if you want to know what triggered all of this, that video, the one I just linked you, that's it. It's only like it's 30 seconds.
What? This one? Okay. So this is it. This is what
Yes, this is what
spurg out.
made him.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what made him spurg. This literally just this.
Old school Terraza, one bite, everyone knows the rules. We didn't get here the first time. Place is very cool on the inside. We got Frankie Lazzani's whole story, which almost seemed borderline not believable. Like, see, there we go.
There was just laughing.
There we go. What are you guys fucking laughing about?
Terrible. The guy, it's funny.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny.
So here we go.
Holy
one bite,
shit,
everybody knows the
he's
rules.
so- dude, he's totally thrown
That's
off his
it.
fucking game. He can't take it.
Yeah, that's it.
No, it's just fucking. It's just a slightly younger Rabbi Shmuley. He's about 10 years away from selling butt plugs.
Yeah, that was literally, that's all that's fucking happened. Someone just went, like, drive by yelling at him. He fucking
He thinks it's another Hollabunga.
Right, oy vey.
It's so
oy
fucking
gewalt.
stupid.
He's not Jewish though, is he? So why is he spurking out so much?
Well, he is.
Is he?
He's Polish.
Portnoy, hang on.
And then you should hate the Soviet Union.
Dave Portnoy. What is his ethnicity?
He's a Khazarite.
Let me check the early life.
Zionist.
He's a Khazarite.
Oh, he is Jewish.
Yes, he's a Khazarite.
Oh, okay.
Have you got eyes? Do you have ears?
No, I thought he was Italian.
On the
No, he's just doing the Goodfellas shit. But he's like De Niro mobster. He's not actual Italian.
So, speaking of old milk, Hegseth has ordered the renaming of ship after,
Oh, God, that was really
ship named after gay
poor
race
taste.
icon Harvey Milk. You're welcome.
Time will tell if the UK plans to rename their own ship the HMS Jimmy Savile.
Right?
Is that actually the name of the
Hegseth has
ship?
ordered...
No, because that would be retarded. But,
But
here
so is
we
it
are
retarded
with,
to have a
with
USNS
Harvey Milk,
Harvey
who was way worse.
But that's what I'm asking. Is like it sounds like something the UK would do any day now. That's why I was confused.
Jimmy Savile was diddling kids in a cancer ward on the BBC dime.
Like when you
and
said
he
that's
still
retarded, I'm like, that doesn't stop
pales
them, Bill.
in comparison to Harvey Milk, who was what if Mengele was more of a prick and was also a nonce.
What if he was more like
let's-
Shiro Ishii?
The USNS Harvey Milk is to be renamed. It's an oiler ship. Of course it is.
The jokes just keep
Loves
coming.
drilling for oil. Wowee. Yep, so that's gonna be renamed. Happy Pride Month. And again, like
Wait,
I
it
said,
ended.
it is being put away for the most part. I did see this today.
I'm assuming they did it during Pride Month just for that particular reason.
It certainly feels like a little bit, and I'm gonna move on to the
Yeah.
John Deadcorn thing now, where it does seem that the coverage of his death was certainly colored, let's say at least initially, by people just being like, "It's Pride Month and they killed a gay guy." One, is he gay? Question mark. We will ask that question.
Was he?
And two, I don't think it has anything to do with allegedly, but then I'll show you who his husband in quotation marks is.
Giant nose.
Anywho, so no,
Very young?
You'll find out. You'll find out. However, so in terms of what put away, apparently Sesame
Was it an
Street
Ethiopian
is
rent boy?
not- You'll see him in about a minute. Just percolate it in your brain. Chat. Think. You can come up. I think
Do
people
I
know
have
where
to?
I'm going with this. Well, this will certainly stop your brain from being able to run correctly. Here's Sesame Street.
It's time to finally unveil Alan's monster makeover!
They're still doing this shit.
Ellen looked just like Jonathan Van Ness.
Cookie Monster Cookie, that is Jonathan Van Ness.
Elmo, Cookie, are you ready to see my monster piece?
This is for like children, what, 5 and under? Sesame Street?
Two through like 6.
Come on.
Jonathan!
Mama Bear, some runway music, please.
Oh, yeah.
People and monsters alike, a round of applause for the Not Too Late Show's newest monster, Alan. Ta-da!
6 and under.
Alan
Dude, oh my god, hang on a minute. Look at the child. Look at the one child. Look at this child in the front on the left. Just totally not into it at all.
Alan Monster is wearing the latest in high monster fashion with a set of sleek horns, fluffy fuzzy fur, all topped off with a monster honker.
I hate it. Yeah, with a
That
monster
last
honker.
point.
What did they? Yeah, that's. Well, what did they mean by this? It's shaped like an eggplant too. Gross. They always have to inject their weird perversions into everything. We'll get to Glenn Greenwald in a minute. But Jonathan Joss, former voice actor who was shot dead allegedly by a Latino neighbor, had exhibited threatening and bizarre. This is the guy who played John Redcorn on King of the Hill.
The second one after the first one died.
Yes, the second one.
Because the
And
role is widely regarded as extraordinarily cursed, as is the reboot of King of the Hill.
Yeah. And the narrative around it when it happened and the news broke is that yes, it was because I think he was shot. It was like it was one of the first days of the month, and of course June is Pride Month, so. Oh, he was shot for being gay, his neighbor's homophobic. And then it's interesting, it's so funny when the left gets caught up in its identity politics. It's like, oh, well, it was a Hispanic. Well, Hispanics are homophobic, so that must be why. Well, here's the reality. He had been exhibiting threatening and bizarre behaviors for years before the confrontation. Police showed up over 40 times over recent years to check up on him after concerned neighbors called. In January, he and his wife, a woman who says she's a man, burned down their own home after starting a fire indoors. Leftists and trans activists are spreading lies about his death being targeted queer hate lynchings. The woke left are exceptional at hate crime hoaxes and exploiting every incident to increase their political power and justify violent reactions. This is from Andy No. Yeah, we cried out, nothing ever got done. King of the Hill actor walked neighborhood with pitchfork, neighbors said. Many neighbors said Jonathan Joss and neighbor Sigfredo
Man, that's a
Queja
very
Alvarez,
active neighborhood watch.
Yeah, traded threats for years. Sunday night, Alvarez was accused of fatally shooting Joss. So these people had been walking around the fucking pitchfork. Fire crews reportedly responded to the home in the 200 block of Dorsey Drive around 1 p.m. Thursday. By the time Joss and his partner returned just before 2 p.m., uninsured residents was a smoldering loss. I told him it was my fault, Joss said. Very easily, it could have started because of my stupidity. So he's crazy. He was out of his fucking mind. And if you need more, here's another post from Andy No covering it. Yep. So, leftists are using an unsubstantiated Facebook post made by Joss's transgender partner as evidence that Joss was killed in a homophobic hate crime by a Latino neighbor. San Antonio police disputes that statement, saying there's no evidence of a hate motivation. Neighbors of Joss have made statements to local media saying that the property where Joss was killed has been an empty lot after the house fire, that he frequently returned there and was not always a good presence in the neighborhood. They state he often ranted outside and got into disputes with people in the neighborhood. Witnesses also say that he got angry if people drove past the property. Joss recently discussed his struggles with substance abuse and mental health on a podcast. So here is his husband. Oh my god, look at the pubes on that chin.
Look at the fucking desolation in his eyes.
So this is a queer hate crime because he's got a really ugly girlfriend who is confused
got a pooner
and
his
taking testosterone. Yes, I mean that is like the definition.
But substance abuse issues and mental health problems.
You
I
don't
wonder what
say.
might have been the cause.
Yeah, shocking.
Wonder what survival pressure might have been in his life that was worsening his lot.
Statement from Tristan Kern de Gonzalez, husband of Jonathan Joss. My husband, Jonathan Joss, and I were involved in a shooting while checking the mail at the site of our former home. Sounds like they were just fucking loitering. The home was burned down over 2 years of threats from people in the area who repeatedly told us they would set it on fire, except for, seems like you set it on fire, from his own words. Or at least
I
you
would
were
imagine
responsible
if
for it.
everyone else around you is suddenly going to set your house on fire, the main question would be, what the fuck are you doing to
What
get
have you
kind
been
of a
doing?
reaction? Yeah, because normal
Apparently
people don't tell
harassing
you, I'm going to
neighbors.
set fire to your house, but if everyone around you is telling you they're going to do it, that tells me you've been doing some fuck shit.
Yeah. We reported these threats to law enforcement multiple times. Nothing was done because you guys
Because
are
you're the
fucking
one
insane.
who causing it. That's the reason
Yeah.
why.
Throughout that time, we were harassed regularly by individuals who made it clear they did not accept our relationship. You are
Wonder
in
why.
a heterosexual relationship. You are in a heterosexual relationship.
Yeah,
You are
you're
a
LARPing as
female
fags.
dating a man LARPing as gays. Much
That's
of the
pretty racist,
harassment was
Spoon. Yeah, I know,
openly
but I don't care.
homophobic. How is it possibly homophobic?
You have a vagina.
Definitionally, you are a straight couple.
Being a Skraeling is gay.
I guess. When we returned to the site to check our mail, we discovered the skull of one of our dogs and its harness placed in clear view. This is after 2 years? 2 years, remember, the house has been burned down for. And then they found a skull of the dog and its harness placed in clear view after 2 years? What? This caused both of us severe emotional distress. We began yelling and crying in response to the pain of what we saw.
I don't
While we
believe
were-
this.
No, of course not. While we were
Yeah.
doing this, a man approached us. He started yelling violent
I'll take
homophobic
things
slurs at us.
things that never
Then he
happened for
raised the gun.
500.
Raised the gun from his lap and fired. Yeah, this
Hang on.
did not fuck. Come on.
So a man approached you, then raised the gun from his lap.
Yeah, so he's... What?
He's
what?
seated. To have a lap, you have to be seated.
Be seated, yes.
So
Yeah, I
either
don't
you have been approached by a man, either your husband was gunned down by a man in a wheelchair, or you're talking
Or-
bullshit.
Also, the thing about the dog, too, if the dog died, and according to what John Deadcorn said, it sounded like he was like, yeah, it seems our stupidity was responsible for that, then you guys are responsible for the dog being dead. And these are the kinds of comments that, of course, you saw all over Twitter, was, why do we need Pride Month? This is why. Look.
As their profile picture is the Fluke Man.
Yeah, right.
Puzzle.
Oh God, yes. A creature of the lives in and eats shit from the X-Files. Of
And
course.
is entirely parasitic for young.
And is a parasite. That's how they choose to represent
violates the
themselves
bodies of other
on the
people.
internet. Yep. Well, that's all been put away, but for whatever reason, this queer is still at it. I can't stand this dude. But, like, just to make it worse, he does this all the time. He goes to children's places where there are children, usually like Disney. So here he is at Disney. I'm not gonna, like, actually force you to listen to this. You can look at the screen if you feel so inclined. Where he is eating a corn dog at Disney, wearing trans Minnie Mouse headband, and then in public dissects the corn dog to illustrate how they are going to chop off his wiener and turn it inside out. Is just doing this sitting outside.
Something that that most people would consider a deeply personal, like surgical matter that you wouldn't really discuss outside of a conference with one's doctor. And this is something that they're discussing in a food court.
Yeah, at Disney.
To all who could hear.
A place for children.
Yeah.
It is weird Death Takes how they always act like children and want to be near children. I need access to children all the time. Yeah, we all know what you are. But enough of it, we're putting the gay away. It's time to talk about something way cooler than homosexuality for Pride Month. Let's talk about Hamas. Dude, I already mentioned this, but just you have to see it. They got their gay little intersectional pride flag. I heart hot dads. Hassan's shirt says, show your dick. So he's on this gay podcast, and here you go.
Let's talk about our favorite flags.
Oh, like overall, what my
Yeah.
favorite flag? Yeah. Hezbollah. Look it up.
Oh.
I'm not even
Oh,
kidding.
I thought it was Hamas. It's Hezbollah. Okay, same shit though, more or less.
It's actually a dope flag.
Dude, look at their faces. They have no idea how to respond. They were thinking like, oh, the trans flag, the bisexual flag, or whatever permutation of.
Look at the looks to one another. It's like, how
I
the
know.
fuck do we react to that?
How are we supposed to react to
Shit.
this?
Flags.
It's this is
You know what? I'm gonna be brave.
Come on.
My favorite flag.
It's got an AK on it and a fucking hand holding
Dude, look at
it
their
up.
faces.
Wow.
Son.
Wow.
I'm gonna keep it real. That looks like dog shit.
It doesn't. That's the thing.
From a
It doesn't
mixological
like dog
stuff.
shit.
Like, it looks like it looks closer to like if you told me like this is just how the Japanese McDonald's logo looks, I'd believe you.
Yeah, dude.
This looks like it was built in the fucking dark.
What a fucking idiot! Oh my, yeah. That was not just an optics failure.
God,
That
you
was
can
an
tell that
optics
Mossad set them up.
explosion.
They didn't. You think with the Mossad connection, you'd maybe have a PR department that can do their fucking job.
Yeah.
This is even ISIS, the other Israeli set up like terrorist organization, had a better flag than this.
Oh, apparently Bill's loud. Is he loud for you, Spoon? It's fine on my end, but dunno. So there's that. Of course, journalist Glenn Greenwald was recently leaked video came out of him worshiping men's feet and engaging in all other sorts of degenerate activities in video format. So, but this is an article from 2006, and people are acting like they're so shocked. Here's an article from 2006 written by Glenn Greenwald, who told you exactly who he was. You're like, oh, we had no idea he was such a pervert and freak. Here he is talking about Brazilian boys with David Miranda in 2006. His name is Rio. This was the second full article in HX magazine under Glenn's byline, appearing in early 2006, roughly a year after his Stud Mall promo. This time its clear purpose was to promote Glenn's RioMaleEscorts.com, RioGayGuides.com. That promotion is quite explicit in the second half of the article, even though in the first half, text by Glenn Greenwald, many phrases are identical to the ones found on the websites. The first half also cover other aspects of Rio, including gay nightlife, which is, by the way, I'm not showing like any of this. Twitter has been full of it. If you want to see Glenn Greenwald engaging in degenerate activity, go to Twitter. Including gay nightlife, which is HX's primary subject matter, thanks to its focus on working boys and total omission of the spectacular parties Rio has to offer. It could be the single worst nightlife review that HX has ever published. So, by Glenn Greenwald, pack your bags and meet the boys from Ipanema? Whoa, I'm trying to get this. There we go. I don't really want to zoom in, but here we go. Along with cities such as Havana, Paris, Rio de Janeiro in the 1950s defined the international glamour and luxury, attracting jet-setters and adventurers alike. After suffering a few decades of political turmoil and widespread poverty, Rio is now experiencing a booming resurgence, becoming one of the most popular destinations for the gay traveler. And it's easy to understand why. With perfect tropical weather year-round, stunning beaches, a friendly and festive population, a wild gay scene, a super liberalized sexual climate, a vibrant and culturally diverse metropolis, sprawling mountains and rainforests, and men whom many believe to be the most beautiful on Earth. Rio is as close to heaven for the gay traveler as one can imagine. Plus, Brazil's weak currency and still struggling economy make everything in Rio shockingly inexpensive for the Western tourist. So, in other words, sex vacationing. It's sex tourism. The first thing you'll notice is the city's breathtaking and truly unique physical beauty. Excuse me, should I put on a very gay affected accent for this? Rio is surrounded by
keep
mountains
pageantry to a
and the
minimum.
Atlantic Ocean. Yes, its interior is comprised of rolling hillsides and lakes, and filling the gaps between these wonderments of nature is a complex and sophisticated metropolis comprised of architecturally unique buildings and colorful residential neighborhoods. The wonderment of Rio lies in its diversity. You can relax at a sprawling... Whatever. Let's get down to the gay scene. This is what matters, right? Even as recently as 5 years ago, Rio's gay scene was similar to those of American cities in the 1960s. It was hidden and suppressed, says Curtis Jacobs, a New Yorker who moved to Rio last year and is now the owner of Rio Gay Guides, which provides English-speaking gay Brazilian guides for American travelers in Rio. But with the growing acceptance of homosexuality throughout Brazil, the gay scene has really taken off and now rivals any city in the world. The center of gay life is Ipanema, a neighborhood in Zona Sul, which is Rio's more upscale and touristy area. The street Rua Farme de Amoedo is considered the gay street because it extends into Ipanema from the gay part of Ipanema Beach, which is located, whatever, okay. He gives the exact location of where to meet hot dudes in Rio.
Yep.
Oh god. Sex tourism thrives in Rio thanks to popular saunas and legalized escorts. Services are now popping up to help gay American travelers so this is by date, not by, it's in the same article though. So Glenn Greenwald is like, go to Rio for gay stuff. And then this guy talks about the Brazilian boys.
Oh god, why?
Working boys saunas. Escorting in Brazil is legal, and jobs in Rio are scarce. Moreover, sexuality is much more fluid than in the States, with the line separating straight bi and gay being blurry. As a result, guys of all types, from married policemen to college sophomores, gay, straight, and bi, frequent the saunas. Two of the most popular working boy saunas are located in Copacabana, gives you the address. It's sprawling with more than 100 working guys during its peak hours. The saunas usually open from 3 to 2, have bars, restaurants, dancing, and entertainment. They're popular. So, you get my point. This is the shit he was writing in 2006. Talking about sex tourism in Brazil. He's always been a massive fucking degenerate, and maybe a pedophile from this sound.
The most genial interpretation is he's describing men who are so desperate for money that they are whoring themselves out to support their families.
Yes. Yes.
Or themselves.
Yeah, it just said there's no job.
The worst
so
is that it's
anything.
literally just a fucking poaching ground for pedophiles.
Quick question. What the hell does anybody care about Glenn Greenwald? Good point, Lance. Yes. Good point.
It's important to know who's a chicken hawk.
It is interesting when the conservatives all rallied around this guy, though. Or a lot of them did.
Yeah.
Videos depicting journalist Glenn Greenwald. Yeah,
he was very outspoken against the bullshit that was happening in Brazil's government with regards to the Supreme Court and Bolsonaro.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
Yes. Yeah. Engaged in sexual acts leaked on Thursday, prompting prominent voices across the spectrum to issue statements. One leaked video shows Greenwald, who is openly gay, kissing a man while wearing a skirt before sending him $2,000. Greenwald blamed political enemies for the leaks and said some videos were distorted while others were not. Greenwald wrote, "I have no embarrassment or regret. The videos depict consenting adults engaged in intimate actions in their private lives. They all display fully consensual behavior, harming nobody." He added, "It won't change my work. I will continue all the many prongs of my journalism and pursue the causes most important to me exactly as before." He won a Pulitzer Prize and is best known for founding The Intercept, Left, and his 2014 Edward Snowden reporting for The Guardian, Left. His talk show, System Update, is a broadcast on Rumble, blah, blah, blah. Deeply critical of Israel and the Biden administration and the U.S. involvement in Ukraine. The story was not widely covered. Uh-huh. There you go. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. This is the one. There it is.
That's
These
the
ones
reason,
not so
yep.
much. This one. You can't do that, Glenn. Glenn, you've been a very naughty boy. We're gonna have to show your fin dom foot fetish videos, Glenn. God damn it. Story was not covered by the mainstream media. Washington Free Beacon, right, described Greenwald as a radical left-wing journalist who hates Israel. The Daily Beast left described him as a favorite journalist of Fox News. Isn't that the fucking duality, man?
That's rather unusual. Both sides hate him for different reasons.
Hate him, yeah.
that was fucking weird.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
right?
how you know you're doing something right as far as your journalism goes, is when both sides hate you for different fucking reasons. Very
Right.
interesting.
It is interesting. The leaks were widely discussed on X, and voices across the spectrum, mostly on the right, defended Greenwald. Charlie Kirk called Greenwald one of the most consistent journalists anywhere, and said the leak is clearly politically motivated, criminal, and disgusting. Brianna Joy Gray, left, said, I love that the one thing we can all agree on is supporting Glenn Greenwald. Other prominent voices like Candace Owens, Russell Brand,
Oh,
Lane's
God.
Right. Oh, I thought it said Lane.
It's
Russell Brand,
sorry.
Scott.
I just
Go ahead.
I just noticed the journalists that we don't like him for different reasons, and all the people that is wrong with conservatism like him. It's like,
Yes. Scott Adams, Brett Wright. I do like Brett. Brett Weinstein, Jimmy Dore, Dave Smith, Matt Gaetz, Caitlin Johnstone, Batayo Unga Sargon also defended Greenwald. Greenwald, right-wing influencer
there's a woman I
Laura
don't
Loomer,
understand.
Batayo Unga Sargon?
Yes, 'cause she's
She
Jewish.
is bizarre. Yes.
Yes. I also find her extremely attractive.
A man's penis will take him places he wouldn't go with a gun.
Right-wing influencer Laura Loomer said people need to stop pretending like Glenn is being silenced. The only way he was silenced is when he had another man's body parts in his mouth. That is a result of his own behavior.
Well, Laura, you are an
Occasional
open
Laura
Zionist,
Loomer-
so
Yeah, but I mean, you're right about that.
Everyone's favorite homunculus,
Calling a
Laura
spade
Loomer.
a spade isn't exactly,
also
groundbreaking journalism.
Caitlin Johnston is the borderline communist.
Yes.
Yeah, she's very
I'm so
prominent, she's
fucking
well-written
tired
on X.
of pretending that these retards represent anyone, let alone us.
This is not Sargon of Akkad. Batayo Ungar Sargon is a woman.
Yes.
It is a female political commentator. Hang on. Let me find a picture.
She was recently on Bill Maher
Yes.
and torched Bill Maher, which is fun.
Well, that's not hard to do.
Yeah, but she was also running a Jewish, like, it starred David Nicholas. I'm like,
The fuck? Hang on a second. For some reason, my internet is being really fucking slow. What the fuck's going on? Holy shit. How am I even
Yeah.
able to stream if it's saying I can't do a Google search? That's just so bizarre.
Are you using Chrome?
I was using Chrome to do that, because that's the only way I can get the stream to run. But let's see. I want to find a
maybe it
decent
isn't.
picture of
Maybe it
her
isn't
that's not-
Brave.
It is Brave. Brave's the problem with the stream, but for dude, we have the best internet we can get now, and I don't know what else to tell you. I can't find like a decent full body picture of her.
I think full
you're
body.
not
I was
gonna
looking at
like
her
this
face.
one. Okay, I'll just bring her face on. There we go. This one's a little blurry, but fine. Wait, okay. So I agree. She's a good-looking.
That
lady.
is really not a
Yes.
flattering picture, Aiden.
It's the first picture, dude. It was the first picture on Google.
That's not. That's the
Okay.
fucking best you can get. Jesus.
That was the first picture on Google. I didn't want to play favorites. Like. Okay. Here, we'll do it right. Watch, it won't work now because it's fucking having problems with Chrome. Look at this. Like, it's taking forever for some reason for Google to load. I have no idea. It works fine on Brave. Now, this is a problem on Chrome. I don't know. Holy shit, look how slow it's loading. It's like using fucking dial-up. So weird. Anyway, there is an idea. That's what she looks like. It's not Carl. However, here are there's been this Turning Point USA speaking event for women that it's featuring Nala Ray. She is a porn star. I think some of the other women
Who looks
on
like a
this
character
list
from
have
The
been in
Sims.
porn. Let's see. Alex Clark, Erica Kirk, Tulsi Gabbard, Alina Habba, Brett Cooper.
I literally know who maybe 3 of these women are.
I know a couple. I know
Everything
Ron
I know
Gaines,
about these retards, I know
Tulsi,
against my will.
Brett Cooper, Dana Loesch.
By the way, notice how they're all white.
Nancy Mace. Yeah, yeah.
No, they aren't. Tulsi's
Nala
part
Ray, I only know 'cause she's a
Hawaiian.
porn
Alexis
star.
is deep Spaniard at most.
That's the only other ones. So those are the ones I know.
Multiple
Tulsi,
Jews.
Riley, Dana. I don't know. Nancy Mace.
By the way,
There's like
notice
a few actual white people here.
No, wait, notice it's called the scroll it back up there.
Young
Look,
Women's
the
Leadership
Young Women's
Summit.
Leadership Summit. Bitch, young women are not supposed to be fucking leaders.
No.
Like, as a conservative movement, this is a fucking oxymoron. All these women are liberals. None of these women are conservative. None. Not a single fucking one.
None of them
Brett
can lead
Cooper.
fuck all.
Yes, exactly. You're like, unless it's to
They
swap
struggle to lead
fucking
a fucking marching
recipes
band.
and learn how to be better wives, which I guarantee you is not in this thing. None of this. This is the extremely fucking liberal bullshit.
Yes, yes.
This is why TP USA is a fucking joke.
It is a joke. This is a fucking joke. You've got actual fucking porn stars. And as far as I understand about this Nala Ray woman, she was a porn star up until, like, yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, and then found God. And look,
It's
good
fucking
for her.
amazing to me that Melanie Mack, who's like very so-called right-wing, supposedly,
Yeah.
sims her fucking nuts off for that chick, which makes no fucking sense.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, like,
Look,
Jesus.
again, I'm not saying people can't change and stuff, but that this is women's leadership. Who should be? No. Men should be
As
leading.
an ex-whore 5 minutes ago, this is the reason why no one pays any attention to you jackasses.
Yes.
Like, the thing that, the reason why it bugged me with Melanie is because she was constantly complaining about, like, the big tent politics of Republicans, and then you support that fucking chick. I'm like, Melanie, you have no fucking consistency, honey. None. That's just
Look at the fucking
retarded.
listings here. Is this the best we've fucking got? This choir of ruptured flesh masquerading as political pundits.
Yes, it's.
I want to
fucking
address what
retarded.
a good emperor asked in the chat. He said, "So they're classical liberals. So what? Why turn down political allies?" This idea of big tent politics is why
Is
we are
how
in
you
so many of the
erode them.
positions that we are in right now.
By the way,
Keep strange bedfellows. Don't be surprised when you get bummed.
By the way, I don't know if you've noticed this, but the left purely spirals fucking constantly. How much have they lost over the last 120 fucking years?
Very fucking little.
Exactly.
The march of progress has gone forward in the leftward
Exactly.
direction consistently.
And you can say, oh, look, Trump won. Has he done anything to repeal anything left-wing in the last 120 fucking years? No. So spare me this fucking crap of, ooh, right-wing doesn't do fucking shit. The
And
Republicans
understand
are
this, too.
fucking feckless and will not do anything. You know, the moment that you get in the power, the first thing is, oh, look, well, all these things are in our fucking way. Well, maybe that should tell you something about your apparatus.
Yes. And here's the thing about political allies, quote unquote. They will be fair weather friends.
Yes,
If they don't
temporarily.
actually agree with you ideologically,
They will subvert
whether,
you.
regardless of sex or whatever, then when push comes to shove, they will abandon you. And I know what you mean, good emperor. Sorry, I wasn't calling you out because I think I pointed out your comment because I think it is a good thing to discuss as to why we are talking about this. Gatekeeping is actually a good thing. It keeps being proven to be the case that gatekeeping is important. That doesn't mean throw every person away who has been in any way degenerate or done something wrong or not lived up to standards or used to be a leftist or whatever it was. It's that for someone like Nala Ray, who again was a porn star 5 minutes ago, there needs to be some, and the whole idea of this woman's leadership conference is inherently kind of anti-conservative as an idea. Women shouldn't be leading. I don't think, again, I think women have a place in the movement, whatever.
In the kitchen.
I think women can assist men, and I think that, at least for me, because I am
That's the thing. You're supposed to play a supportive role.
Yeah. I don't
You are
I don't
not
want
supposed to be
in the
leaders.
front. I want to be nowhere near the front line. I want to do my autistic research and help, help in ways that I can by doing that research, by doing the work that hopefully is useful to people who can lead, right? That's how I look at it, at least, which I think is fine. And I that's traditionally been the role that women have in society. And I think it's personally.
So this
woke, put away.
This is something that the right does not seem to understand. The reason why the left win is because the left does not fucking try to build consensus. They recognize that their stupid fucking base will just do what they fucking tell them. They actually play top-down power politics. They get how humans work. The right still carries on as if democracy is fucking needed and we need the consent of the governed. They still think John Locke wasn't a fucking pillock. That's the reason why the right fucking loses, is they don't have soldiers that just obey the generals. You need to realize you need to govern the people like they need to be told what to think and do.
On the topic of Locke, however, I will return to an earlier matter, which is, of course, that if Sargon's going to have a wrestling move, it should be called the ankle lock. I really cannot stress enough how much of a dog's dinner you motherfuckers have made of this whole wrestling gimmick that's cropped up of late.
Wait a minute, did we talk about that on air?
I think it got mentioned briefly.
Oh, I think we did. Yeah, now I don't remember, because we were talking about that before the show. So
And
I don't remember if we talked
return
about
to this
it.
matter, but I just wanted to, because Locke was mentioned by name, I just wanted to throw that out there before I forgot.
Yeah. Just since we're on this topic though, Dankula made a video on his second channel the other day where he mentioned that there was a plan to do some sort of wrestling or boxing match between his staff and the Lotus Eaters staff. And then he said something like, don't go bother Sargon or the Lotus Eaters lads about this. Don't go harass them over this. So of course what happened instantly is I witnessed,
Everyone
okay, Harry,
over,
what was
yeah.
your character? What was your wrestling character ideas?
Also, no
I didn't
emperor.
ask Josh. I didn't think Josh might have been interested. Maybe he was though. I should ask.
Also, no, good emperor. Locke was wrong. Rousseau was very much correct.
Mm-hmm.
With regards to entering society, that is very much true. You have to understand you have to look at these people like they are respective intellectual voices for the kind of society that they are in. And if you run in a monarchy, Rousseau's perspective is very much the case. The same with the reason why a lot of English people listen to Hobbes, because Hobbes is fucking English. So that'd be the case. The reason why Americans listen to Locke is because they're fucking Americans.
I like the way you described that this alleged boxing or wrestling match. That could be really weird. I'd like to see that. That could be really weird. I'd also like to see it.
Yeah.
So, on the topic of things that have been put away.
You could have JF attend. He could come down to Chris Benoit's theme.
No,
Oh my God.
Please, no. Let's please not. Let's not.
Oh
say
god, I'm not gonna lie. Some of the memes with regards to Chris Benoit.
You have embarrassed yourself
are
in the
horrible,
public space.
but hilarious.
I'm sending you to the forest.
You would be very mercurial, like Matt.
I shall give you to the trees. That's actually a really effective wrestling gimmick. The Patton also gimmick of I murdered my wife. That's my gimmick.
Eldritch Saga for 5 says, after Elon and Doge, do you agree that no one can do as much to fix the system individually? We should focus on expat strats a la nomad capitalists. Capitalism, I think.
Well, just do shit at the local level rather than relying on macro level
Federal government,
politics.
yeah. Segregation.
No one can fix the system that exists because it's fundamentally flawed. It's working as intended.
It's also
actually.
way too rotten. It's like seeing a house of 80% termite infestation and saying like, oh, we should reform this instead of just burning the entire system down, the 20%.
Let's call this what it is. The American government is kudzu. It was perpetuated by itself. It spread over every surface and drained every ounce of substance from everything it touched. And at present is really fucking difficult to get rid of.
Oh my good
Best
God,
do
you're
is
describing
burn
a
it
fat
out.
woman.
Yes. And
We certainly saw enough
the
of that
government's the fattest bitch of all.
Amen, brother. Slosher for 10 says there's a big difference between allowing left UGs to come to the right and allowing them to have a prominent role until they've shown their loyalty to the right and repented for their past sins. That's exactly my position as well. I think people obviously can change. They can also be indoctrinated and confused and retarded.
It feels like it worse.
Well, there's that old adage which has been attributed to about a dozen different people, maybe more.
Well,
than
that makes
which
a
is
lot
that
of sense.
If you're not,
That's great. We should
Which is
take
that-
someone who was formally indoctrinated and give them a different indoctrination role. You fucking
No.
retards.
What I'm saying, hang on. By that I mean the adage goes. I get it. The adage goes that if you're not, left leaning when you're 20, you have no heart, and if you're not conservative by the time you're 30, you have no head. I don't totally believe in that, but I think there can be some truth to that in that young people can tend to be more idealistic in many ways and can make
Naive.
mistakes. But yes, naive, and I
Retarded.
totally agree that it doesn't. People shouldn't be discounted forever and ever and ever, but they have to show you something. It can't be, I was a porn star selling degeneracy 5 seconds ago, and now I'm not, and you should listen to me. As a leader of women. So this was these are government documents, internal. I believe. Who published these? These are allowed to be published, obviously. But this is a document describing anyone who, because the COVID shit's all over, COVID's put away, about how anyone who, this was how the U.S. government saw people who were in any way oppositional to COVID lockdowns and regulations as domestic violent extremists. The NTC, DHS, and FBI assess that some domestic violent extremists and their foreign analogs will threaten or mobilize to violence in opposition to the new or expanding COVID-19 related mandates. In 2020, DVEs threatened or plotted violence against the healthcare sector and state and local government officials. Since the advent of COVID-19 vaccines, DVEs have expanded their potential targets to include federal government officials, healthcare workers, or others who enforce vaccination mandates or participate in vaccination efforts. We anticipate that the threat will continue at least until the winter, as many of the new COVID mandates in the U.S. And some other Western countries are implemented, including U.S. workplace vaccination policies that carry disciplinary or termination penalties. So, this was in place. If you said no, it's not right for me to be forced to be vaccinated to be able to keep my job, to be able to feed myself, you are a violent domestic extremist. This was what was going on. I mean, we all knew it, we all felt it, we saw it happening, but these were the internal documents. They've got so many fucking acronyms here. What does RMVE stand for? Did I miss that one? I'm so used to looking at things with tons of... RMVEs is German racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists. Stormed the Reichstag and Parliament building in 2020, protesting COVID mitigation mandates. So this is the German...
there is still the eternal German spirit kicking.
Yeah, driven by
the eternal Germans, right?
The white race have claimed there is a conspiracy among Jews and other minorities to mass murder white people through vaccinations, according to FBI information.
Yeah, there's definitely no proof of that at all. None.
No. Domestic violent extremist is an individual operating primarily within the U.S. or its territories without direction or inspiration from a foreign terrorist group. So these are the descriptors of them. Anti-government or anti-authority violent extremism. Militia violent extremism. Racially or ethnically motivated violent extremism. Diverse socio-political factors amplifying persistent domestic violent extremist threat. So these are just this whole fucking report. This is just going over history of violent stuff, but here's the COVID stuff. Development related to COVID-19 pandemic, midterm election, and immigration will probably motivate DVEs across ideologies to plot or attempt violence in 2022. All of this shit. You don't like what's being done regarding COVID. You got put on a fucking watch list as a domestic violent extremist. And now that the COVID, time of exception is over, we can just release these fucking documents. Now, again, we all knew this. We felt it happening. We saw it happening. But there it is. There the fuck it is. In plain fucking English. So, in terms of things getting switched around, there is, of course, the tone shift in the regime. I'm going to go over these real quick, and then let's watch at least one of those videos. We'll try to put one on.
Do the Lionel one, because the Lionel one is funnier.
The which one?
The Lionel one.
AA's or the... Okay, we'll watch the Lionel one. Because I have not listened to AA's video yet, and I didn't want to listen to it on stream initially because I thought I'm going to want to actually listen to this. But because I'm very interested in... it's about the civil rights movement.
Yes.
MSNBC's revamped lineup flounders, Jen Psaki sheds 47% of predecessors' viewership. So But understand that although things are changing, right? There's a new regime, there's a tonal shift. They're just cutting off these fucking dregs. And it's funny to, I enjoy laughing at them getting cut off like this. But the power structures behind it don't change one inch. So Rachel Maddow's program returned to only airing on Mondays in May. Similarly, I have to log into Fox. I don't care. Jen Psaki's down nearly half of her fucking viewers on her new show.
I wonder why.
Well, they may not be putting on in airports as much anymore. I don't know. That's where their viewership came from anyway. And the dead. Similarly, longtime CNN pundit at heart of defamation disaster announces next move.
He looks
This guy,
fucking shady as shit.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of him. Now former CNN chief national security correspondent Alex Marquardt officially confirmed his departure from the news outlet, capping off a tumultuous 6 months for both the reporter and the network. You can view the post yourself. He says goodbye, blah, blah, blah. CNN has dismissed its chief national security correspondent, Alex Marquardt, citing editorial differences. I'm told the dismissal comes month after CNN settled its lawsuit with the U.S. Navy veteran, Zachary Young. CNN declined to comment. More details, blah, blah, blah. Lawsuit being referenced was a notable financial disaster for the network. In January, CNN was found guilty of defaming Young after a November 2021 Marquardt reported airing on Jake Tapper's show portrayed the veteran as having exploited Afghans in need, per The Hollywood Reporter. That erroneous portrayal eventually cost the network and its lawyers big time, with courts ordering CNN to pay Young a sizable $5 million in damages. It's actually not that much for CNN. While neither Marquardt or CNN appear to be offering much in terms of details, speculation has run rampant that the $5 million payout played a big role in his department. Obviously, the court case is the core reason why that's obvious when CNN insider told Fox News. He hasn't done anything else that's wrong. Yeah, he cost them $5 million. That's a pretty big oopsie. That's a pretty big fucking oopsie. It is pocket change, but he's cost them a large amount of money, so I'd fire him too.
It's not about the money. It's about the message.
Not sending a message.
The fucking hell is that thing?
This is Mayor Bowser of D.C., who has been hit with an ethics complaint over troubling patterns. On Saturday, she was at a Pride event, vying for the attention of the worldwide pop czarina. A few days later, she got some unwarranted attention from a government watchdog instead. I'm sorry, what?
Government watchdog? What the fuck did they do?
Democrat Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser is facing down an ethics complaint filed by the Foundation for Accountability and Civic Trust, FACT, a nonpartisan watchdog with the Board of Ethics and Government Accountability, according to Fox. The news comes just days after Bowser was joking around with attendees of an LGBT festival in D.C. that pop star Shakira should reconsider canceling her tour in the area due to traveling conflicts. The moment of levity gave way to Tuesday morning's alarming complaint. The complaint alleged that Bowser received improper benefits, including accepting illegal trips and other hospitality gifts during a number of outings as D.C. mayor.
Oh, really? No
Bowser
kidding.
Apparently, I know, enjoyed high-profile trips to Doha, Qatar for the 2023 UN Climate Change Conference, the Masters of Golf Tournament in Augusta, Georgia, and trips to Dubai, Las Vegas, Miami, and Mar-a-Lago. The complaint from FACT highlights those issues and more, such as the fact that the district has no records of these trips. In other words, corrupt Democrat mayor, corrupt black female Democrat mayor. Never heard that one before.
Taylor's old as time.
Yeah. Bunch of them are getting hit, though. I'm here for it. Jake Tapper. CNN show hits lowest rating since 2015, despite new Biden book buzz. Intense publicity tour.
What?
So even after dropping this
Biden
fucking
book
massive
buzz,
book,
no one fucking cares.
I can't think of that and
Fox
not
News
think
is
of
trying to do
Biden
the
blast.
fucking
I'm sorry. Does it only lefty mean that?
Biden blast.
I can't, for legal reasons, I can't make the first part of the joke. Biden blast.
So he publishes this supposedly, landmark book exposing that Biden was,
That's just a money laundering gig,
demented
let's
the
be
whole
real.
time. Obviously, and he has been sitting on this, or I guess it's like actually the way he was framing it is that he just found out. Everyone just found out that Biden has Alzheimer's or dementia. It's like, no, you sat there and ran defense for him, Jake. But surprisingly, the book is not improving his ratings. Lowest since before Trump was president.
Maybe they did read it. That's why they're not watching anymore.
Well, I guess so, right? So he's fucked. He averaged a total of 525,000 viewers from April through May 25, shedding 25% of CNN's audience in its time slot from the same period last year in the process. Good. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Another 15% drop, only 95,000 viewers among the critical demo. Bye. I mean, it's fun watching these people get ousted because their usefulness is over. Who else is usefulness over? Maxine Waters, maybe. She'll always stick around. Jesus, the ancient old bitch. Whopping campaign finance violation 400% greater than Trump's supposed violation that got him 34 felony counts.
Ah, yes.
Who could have seen this one coming?
James Brown.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why? The report laid out the violations as such. 1. Misstatements of receipts and disbursements. 262,000 in receipts, 256,000 in disbursements. 2. Acceptance of excessive contributions. 19,000 and unlawful cash disbursements. 7,000. That's a clean total of $556 worth of campaign finance violations. Waters' team all but admitted guilt by agreeing to pay a $68,000 fine over it. So Trump gets hit with 34 felony counts for abuse of campaign finances. Maxine Waters was doing 400% what Trump was even accused of doing. Who's shocked? Not me. Holy shit. These people are all fucking corrupt, and they're all lining their pockets. Every single last fucking one of them. Eldritch Saga for 5 says, I don't really think civic nationalists or conservatives are any different than progressives because our electoral system forces regression to the mean. In function and practicality, yes, that's absolutely true. Absolutely. Cole Summers for 5 says, why do these people keep writing books essentially bragging that they gaslit the country into tearing itself apart? Oh wait, women and commies. Yes. And yeah, they just want to line their own pockets, like I just said. He doesn't care. The moment has passed. It's over now, so we can look back and go, oh, wasn't that silly, just like with COVID or anything else. Now we can talk about it frankly, now that it's not beating down on them, right? And of course never take responsibility for tearing the country apart. They don't give a fuck. Easy money. Or so they see it. But what it really is right now is it appears to be a bunch of rats fleeing a sinking ship. And this is Rat-in-Chief Karine Jean-Pierre. She is writing her own book where she's going to talk shit about the Democrats and has announced, I think more or less definitively, she's going to become a conservative. She's going to join the Republican Party. Well, aren't you excited? No. She's on our side now, guys. Sidesism, sides.
Is that what she's actually doing?
Fucking cringy. Yep. Here we go.
People in this White House knew that President Biden was slipping, and it was hidden from the American people. So who ordered White House officials to cover up a declining president?
I know that that is a narrative that you love. And
no,
wait,
10 days.
Hold on.
He did a press conference at NATO. I'm in it. There's all these things.
This is, of course, from back in the day, right? Isn't it? This is an old one, right? Yes. So this is when she was asked about his decline back. I mean, obviously, because she's not in the White House anymore, but here she is covering up for Biden's obvious mental decline that was clear and evident to everyone.
Things that I need to finish. And then 10 days later, I'm dropping out.
Okay. Okay, you're asking me like multiple questions here. Let me, wait. First of all, there's been no cover-up. I want to be very clear about that. I know that's the narrative that you all want. Wait, no, you can't. Okay.
I've been with President Biden for 5 years.
Are you going to let me answer the question?
Would you at least admit that the debate was not just a bad night?
Wait, can I answer the question?
Yes.
All right. Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. To your first question, it is not a cover-up. I know that is the narrative that you...
Okay, hang on a second. Did I not grab the other fucking video? Here it is. Here we go. Here it is. That's her covering it up for it back in the day, but here's the change, right?
Personally, I think what was the toughest thing...
Look at the name of the book. Independent, a look inside a broken White House outside the party lines.
...to see in the 3 weeks...
This is from the beginning of the year, yeah.
There was a disconnect for me, what was happening with leadership in the Democratic Party and how it was truly as my former colleague, communications director Ben LeBolt said, it was a firing squad, and I had never seen anything like it before.
Oh, they were so
I'd
mean
never
to you.
seen a party do that in the way that they did, and it was hurtful and sad to see that happening. A firing squad around a person who I believe was a true patriot, a person who I believe did everything that he can for this country, a person who I believe, as I mentioned before, has done more in one term than most presidents had done in 2 terms, historical things. And I was shocked by what I was seeing.
And Karine, just to clarify,
Yeah.
it's other Democrats and Democratic leadership coming out against Biden.
Yep, I had never seen anything like that. That was, if you're asking me, the thing that I saw in those 3 weeks, that was shocking. Shocking. And
To me, it appears that her pivot to the right, or independent, whatever the fuck she's trying to do here, is going to be over this alleged concern and love for Joe Biden, who they were mistreating and abandoned. That's what it sounds like to me. That's how she's going to play it.
instead of coming together to really
she ran cover for
be
his
unified
mental infirmity.
and trying to figure out how do we save our democracy? How do we
Oh
fight
my
back?
god, there it was. It was the fucking, she said the fucking word.
That's what I was seeing. And, you know, that's what we decided to do for 3 weeks. And, you know, it was truly, truly unfortunate. And I think it hurt us more than I think folks realized to have done that.
And I know exactly. By the way, L Monster, the system is broken. Then why were you a part of it? Well, now she's not. Now she's gonna come out with her new book about the broken state of the White House. Okay, sure thing. Rats fleeing a sinking ship. Old man yells at cloud or vets. They trotted Biden back out. By the way, he just kind of. So he's, by the way, speaking. This is his first speech since the cancer stuff dropped, right?
Our politics have become so divided and so bitter. All the years I've been doing this, I never thought we'd get to this point, but we are. Our troops don't wear a uniform that says I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican. It says I'm an American. I'm an American. That's who I am.
Dude, he's so out of it.
I'm serious
This is what
about it.
happens when they get real demented. Old people, they just get angry.
Yes,
And he's
I'm
been
not
like this
joking.
for years now, you know?
And folks, our politics has become, as I said, so divided.
Who's
They
responsible
wear
for
the
that,
uniform
Joe?
of the United States of America. The only nation in the world, literally, not free, the only nation in the world founded on an idea. An idea. Every
Gay?
nation was founded on geography, ethnicity, some unifying principle.
Oh my god, well, he's making a massive fucking argument against democracy. It's based on something that doesn't exist. It's based on a thought, not on things that... it's based on some ephemerality, not on the concrete. That's why it's retarded, as to base things off of a feeling, and not on things that are practical and empirical.
But not an idea.
Yeah.
The idea of America was founded on, we hold these truths to be self-evident. That all men and women are created equal.
No, you added that last
Endowed
part.
by the Creator with certain inalienable rights. Life, liberty, pursuit of that. We meant it. That's who we are. That's what makes America the most unique nation in the world. Literally, not figuratively. In fact, folks, you know, for generation after generation, the profound idea has been defended by ordinary citizens who stepped up and answered the call. Because of them, American democracy has endured for nearly 250 years. Every generation has
Say it
to
one more
fight
time,
to
Joe.
maintain that democracy. Every time, every generation. Because of
you sent him
them,
into the fucking
our government is still
war
of the
machine
people,
to feed it, yeah.
by the people and for the people. They
It's
are
a rambling
we.
of old mottos. It's
We
like
are
watching
still
people.
free.
It's like watching people from Demolition Man
now-
sing.
It really is.
We must
He
make
only
sure
rants
that
for like another couple
sacrifice has
seconds
never
here.
been in vain. Let me close with this. The women and men we honor today are no longer with us, but you can still hear their echoes. Literally, can't you? If you lost anybody, you can hear.
You can hear voices in your head, Joe. Interesting. What are they telling
Worms
you?
are back.
The worms are back.
The echoes of their voices. They're asking, what will we do? We who are alive, we who remain.
Not for much
They're
longer.
not asking us to risk our lives. They're asking us to stay true to what America stands for. They're not asking us to do their jobs. They're asking us to do our job, to protect our nation in our time, now, to defend democracy.
Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to show him yelling. Yeah, you keep using that word. Then we'll watch the Lionel video after this, and then we'll wrap up, shall we? But here's how all of this stuff is going for the Dems. Here's how it's working in terms of the polls.
Yeah, you would think after.
Which again, obsessively watching polls is retarded. Don't pay too much attention to it. People are fickle as fuck. They don't really mean
Think
much.
of the people
and
who could reply to those polls.
Extremely heavily curated. But here's CNN reporting on the polls.
For all of the waves, Kate Baldwin, after the last few months, the first 5 months of the Donald Trump presidency,
God,
right,
this
the first
guy.
4 months of the Donald Trump presidency, that you expect that Democrats would have this massive lead on the economy. It ain't so. It ain't so. The party that is
Based economy.
Based
He sounds like the basic economy guy.
It does sound like the from Velma. Yeah.
Republicans by 11 points. Now it's still within that range, still within that margin of error. Plus 8-point advantage for the Republican Party. How is that possible, Democrats? How is that possible after all the recession fears, after the stock market's been doing all of this, after all the tariffs that Americans are against, and Republicans still hold an 8-point
That Americans are against? Are they? By the way, the tariffs have been paused, at least for steel in the UK. And it looks like, well, I'm not sure about what's going on in Canada. I think that might not happen.
Economy? Are you kidding me?
I'm sure they can.
This is new CNN polling.
Yes.
How is that when we look for trends?
So understand, if the CNN polling is saying that the GOP continues to go up in support month by month, essentially, and CNN polling is going to be heavily skewed towards the left, it's not great for them. But again, I'd say understand that this is all on purpose. This is intentional. The mid-level managers, they're not aware of it, so they're spurging because they don't understand. Why aren't things working the way that they're supposed to work? Because it's organized. The changing of the guard has happened. You know, we're moving on to next thing. I would say this about Canada because I mentioned it real quickly. This will be the last thing. So Carney is seething and coping, denounced unlawful and unjustified doubling of U.S. tariffs on steel and aluminum. Well, by the way, again, you just have to work
Didn't you say
with
you're
an
the one trying to
asshole.
uncouple from America, and now there's tariffs on you,
Yeah.
and you're whinging?
And now you're
Isn't this what you
screaming
wanted?
about the tariffs.
Yeah.
By the way, again, the UK, Starmer, bitched about this exact same thing being imposed on the UK, and he got postponed, at least until July, potentially indefinitely. Just saying, a tale of how 2 other Anglosphere countries handled this. Again, obviously no fan of Starmer. But Carney is such a fucking ridiculous idiot that he's just bitching about it instead of trying to work with Trump. While also saying like, oh, fuck you, you know, Canada, you need Canada more than Canada needs you, essentially. I don't think so, dude. I don't fucking think so. So Trump signed an executive order raising U.S. tariffs on all steel and aluminum products from 25% to 50%, starting on Wednesday. Again, UK's is apparently extended till at least July. More than 90% of Canada's steel and aluminum is exported to the U.S., so this is going to be particularly economically devastating. In a statement, the Aluminum Association of Canada said the additional tariffs make Canadian exports to the U.S. economically unviable. You could try working with the guy. You know, it goes on, but that's the gist. Instead, he just screeches about it, whinges. Stop being such a prick. You get the same fucking deal, I'm sure. Trump likes to make deals. It's kind of his thing. All right. Shall we... I'll jump over here to the watch together then, and we'll watch Lionel's video, and then we'll head out. Sound good?
Can we do that now?
Let's do
Because
it.
it's like 12:30 here, and I'm barely awake.
That's what I mean. Do you want to just go to bed then?
Yeah, because I'm struggling to stay awake here.
Okay, cool. Alrighty then. Okay, I could tell you were sleepy. I could tell you were eepy spoon. No problem. Well, maybe we'll get to it some other time or not. It is a good video. Let me post it here in the chat.
It's just
and
funny.
AA's video. Yes.
Yeah.
think
With the
there's a
AA video
time
or
code on this, but
or the
I'll post them both. Oh, wait a minute. If
Lionel's video
Probably
just
Brave
takes
crashed.
just
It did.
demolishes Jordan Peterson. It's really, really funny.
Hang on a
I
second.
enjoyed it.
Oh my god, Brave crashed again. Holy shit.
I thought you weren't using it anymore.
I was using it to look at the stream. It didn't just the hang on. So now I have to get back into the fucking stream to turn it off. Hang on, give me a second, guys. I'll post these links to the videos we were going to watch. I'm gonna watch the AA video after this anyway.
Yeah, the AA one is very good.
I just didn't get around to it yet. I was thinking about it, but I saw it was like 30 minutes. So there's the Lionel video that we were going to watch. We're not gonna have time for. And then here's the AA one if you want to go watch that. Whoops.
I would highly recommend the AA one.
Great,
The
make
AA
sure
one
I
is fucking good.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, and that's it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for all of your support tonight, and we will see you again next Wednesday, same time, same place.